y'all make sure y'all share this video and make sure y'all subscribe to All Viral Access Media. You know the vibes.
They thought we forgot, but we never forget. This one's for the rules. We built this land from dust and tears, 400 years, and we still here. They write new rules, but they don't see. Every freedom they got came off you and me. We planted seeds, they took the bloom. We lit the flame, they left the room. But we back now, know the sky. The spirit's woke, we realize all we want is what we earn. That sweat and blood, yeah, that table turn. You can't buy culture, can't fake that fight. This is our day, this is our ride. We happy day. Say it loud, say it strong. We the heartbeat that's been here all along. Foundational Black Americans, stand tall. We ain't begging for nothing, we built it all. Born from pain and grace, you can see the truth written in our face. We the soul, the sound, to fight the flame. Foundational Black Americans, say our name. They love our rhythm, but they dodge our blues. Use our voice when it fits their news. They take our sound, but not our scars. We the backbone, we the stars. Now the veil is gone, the mask is clear. We see the game, we know what's here. No more silence, no more lies. We lift that flag and watch it rise. Rise up. We the ones that made this nation breathe. Our pain turned to power. Our roots are trees. We know it's rhythm and grace now. And now we reclaiming our rightful place. Can't copy courage, can't steal pain. You can't inherit soul by changing names. Our story ain't done, it's the revival. We guard the gate, it's about survival. We FBA, say it proud, say it loud. The world dances on what we vow. Foundational Black Americans, still we stand, still we fight, still we demand. Every block, every song, we've been right here all along. The soul of a people strong and free. Foundational Black Americans. We the first, we the rule, we the fire. Still rising, still here. Foundational Black
Good evening, family. History did not begin with the Civil Rights Movement. Long before marches and legislation, foundational Black Americans were building towns, founding schools, shaping law, and strengthening democracy. Generation after generation, they created institutions, economic networks, international help, and cultural foundations that still stand today. To understand America fully, we must look before and beyond civil rights and recognize the enduring legacy of foundational Black Americans. Let's get ready to get into it. I hope all of you are ready. Buckle up. Tell somebody to tell somebody. It goes down here every Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. And I hope that you will learn something new today. You know, as I try to teach, I learn from you all as well. This is a full classroom. That's how we operate on the Brooklyn Bridge. So without further ado, let me get my brother, the OG Wisdom Podcast co-founder, is back up on the Brooklyn Bridge. Brother Tad, are you ready? What up, Brother Tad? What up?
Peace, sis. How you feeling?
Good, brother. Good.
Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear. Let me get the BX up on the Brooklyn Bridge. Brother Blacksmith, are you ready?
Nah, leave the BX in the Bronx.
Uh-oh.
Leave the BX where they at.
The South Bronx is in the building.
I'm leaving. Good night, y'all.
Have a nice week.
I represent that. Fort Greene, Brownsville, Bronx River, Harlem, New York, with all that snow and all the rats running through it. See, I'm giving it up to everybody.
It's
Jamaica,
the Bronx.
Queens,
Always want to elbow their way into something.
Jamaica, Queens, Corona, East New York, Staten Island, Newark, New Jersey, and the world.
Now you done cross the bridge.
Word, right?
So disrespectful.
And
so disrespectful.
I'm about to walk into
y'all.
the
How y'all doing?
We good, brother.
How y'all doing? Real talk. How y'all doing?
We good, bro.
How that weather treating y'all? It snowed again last night, right?
Terrible.
Yeah, I've been hearing, man. What's the deal? Talk to me. Say something. I'm gonna mute myself.
Nah, I'm saying I got jammed up, man. I was in Georgia. Then I couldn't get a flight back to New York. It was like, nah, get comfortable. And it was brick cold down there. It was like, yo, all the flights is grounded, homie. I came back yesterday. Then I had to dig my car out the snow because I wasn't here for like almost a week.
Mm-hmm.
So then I came back. I had to fly into Newark Airport. That took like 2 hours to get home.
Nobody held you down with them?
Hold up. My daughter was going to. I said, baby, don't do that. She's like, Daddy, where's the shovel? I said, for what? I was going to dig the car out. So don't do that, baby. Don't do that. I got it. Daddy got it. So if anything, call your brother. You know what I mean? But as soon as I came in, sis, right? And I'm going to tell you why it's so crazy. So I walked to Home Depot about 1.5 miles from the crib. I said, I could do that, 3 miles in. Man, I get to Home Depot. They ain't got no shovels. None. Not even gardening shovels. None. I go to the local one on Washington and Fulton. Shovel like $70 plus tax. Then they're $80 for the shovel. I said, come on, man. If you're going to rob me, at least pull out a gun.
You know what I mean? They try to get you for your bread, boy. I'm telling you. Can't get no salt, nothing. But luckily, the last snowstorm, I had ordered some from Walmart because it's hard to get salt. And we had over 20 inches over here,
Yeah, man. Yeah, they had it pushed up against the car. I was like,
that's New York sanitation for you. Either they going to push it up against your car or shove it in somebody's driveway.
And I'm thankful I'm in shape to do all that. So I just dug it out and moved about.
Too much. Brother Black, since you didn't have to deal with all of this, you had a question posed to you last week. But before I do that, I almost forgot. Forgive me. Get some shout outs real quick. Sister Joyce, Brother Monty, Suffolk County, in the building. What's happening?
Yeah.
We got Edolo. I hope I said it right. We ain't going nowhere. That's right. We up in here. Big Russ, the warrior, Philly in the building. What's happening, family? Hope all is well. Farnessa, Alabama on the check-in. What's good? Aruba 927. Doggy Diamond TV Mars in the building. Yes, indeed. Sister Tanisha, what's happening? We're going to rock out tonight. Because, I be in these spaces and people be talking greasy. So I had to educate this fool. What was it? Tuesday night? I had to educate this fool. I was in a live space. If you don't know something, say I don't know. No, when Brother Black be going in, I don't know. We don't know. We fall back like this. You know what I mean? But, because you got so many haters, people going to talk about, what did Black Americans do for the continent of Africa? And this fool was from South Africa. You know, I had to blaze his wig all the way back. Shout out to Brother Ray Ray and the BK Mackey History Club. Yeah. Sister Brooke. She'll be on the Brooklyn Bridge real soon. Marcia, you ready? Let's get Marcia Africans on the Rise up on the bridge. What's happening, sis?
Peace, family. How's everybody doing on this Blacktastic Thursday?
Peace, sis.
I love you, Miguel. You said it without me having to say anything.
Because I'm tired of hearing you. Sister Keisha, how you feeling?
Tired. All that shoveling. Tired.
Girl, money goes a long way.
Yeah, I see.
Is making a lot of money off of my butt because I am not doing it. And
I tried to hire somebody. They told me they couldn't get here till Wednesday. What? I leave house today.
Well, then you know what? You ain't hired. You fired.
There you go. For real, for real, for real. Oh, yes. Timothy, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Hope all is well with you. So, Brother Black, what's the 1-2, brother? What's the 1-2?
Okay. I'm gonna start being that we got Sister Marcia on the show already, and good to see you, sis. I heard your little comment over there. I acknowledged it. Anyway, like I was saying, you asked me last week about the planetary alignment, right? And what it means to us as a people going into where we're going, wherever we're going. Is that a fair question?
I think Sister Pat asked that question.
I'm sorry. Marcia. Yeah. Okay.
Is that related to the clip that you asked me to play?
No, not related. But if you ask me that directly, I'll answer that. Then we can get into that if you wish. Okay. Now, with the planetary alignment, because it's a cosmic event, it means what it means to you, because you have to understand your own body is your own cosmos, and then the outer cosmos. The inner is more important because that's who you are individually in all of it. And with that said, it's like sometimes in your life, you up for like 3 years straight. You can't lose. And then you go through a 6-month period where you fall off a little bit. And then you keep coming back, and incrementally, it winds up balancing out as you get older. So that's what's happening with the universe. It's going back along with your body on a cosmic level to where it's supposed to be, because that's the way it is. Something came on this earth and turned it into what it now is, and will soon stop. And the planetary alignment is the wonders in the stars that the Bible spoke of whenever they made those interpretations when they wrote it, whether it was yesterday or, 20 BC when Jesus was still alive, or so they say. So with that said, basically, that's how I look at the planetary alignment. And if you're aligned as a person, meaning you're living in your purpose, you're going to get to a place where it's going to be utopia and it's going to be relatively peaceful with money to go. And this is why I talk about so much about Trump and what they're doing, because that's a whole military operation that's been going on since his first administration. And we're now seeing the end game. We went from where the damn files at, where the mother effing files at, where this at, where that at, to like, oh shit, it's in your face now. So with that, Sister Keisha, if you wish, you can play it's not even 3 minutes long. It makes exactly the point I'm going to go into right after we finish with it.
Probably that I've ever made in my life. Last night, couldn't sleep, looked at the files, started with documents, moved on to video, and my God, bloody hell. We're living in bloody hell. I had to stop because I can't unsee what I saw. In my life, I watched horror movies, not even close. Blood-curdling screams of young kids, the fear in these children. These people are the devil walking earth. The devil is on earth. It was horrible. Unaliving of children. The idea that they've been unaliving children, cutting up intestines and eating them, unaliving babies, violating, essaying these children. I mean, I've never in my life, if you had told me in my wildest dreams, I swear, maybe I'm naive, Am I naive? But if you told me my wildest dreams that this kind of thing was happening in this country, or in, you know, with the Vatican and all this whole circle of pain and power, I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have believed you. There's no way I would have believed you. I said, there's no way. Full of shit. I have to go see for myself because I keep taking, you know, third-party accounts of this thing. And yeah, my solution is that whole government that's allowing this to happen, the leaders need to go. They need to be taken out of their positions because we can't trust them. Our whole system is being undermined. We're looking like the fool of the earth. Everybody's laughing at us, and we sit here and do nothing. This is my activism. But if people want to rally or do whatever it is, I'm in. Go to Capitol, I'm in, because this is bad, man. I feel like ashamed to be human, and we're just letting it go. As I said before, if this was Obama, oh my goodness, what are we doing? Thoughts and comments below, please. I want to hear your opinions, because am I the only one that's feeling like this? And I can't even go look another human in the face right now and feel, I want to ask them, what do you think? What are we doing?
So, Brother Black, what's
Yes.
it all about? What's it all about?
Okay, now to finish, what I'm trying to say is this is how I felt 10 years ago when I was in Honduras when my mom was ill and almost out of here. And I had to deal with her demise as well as this because I knew all this stuff 10 years ago. And this is why I was a stupid targeted individual. And this is why my family persecute me. And this is why most people hate me, because they base my life on mistakes I've made in life. And I'm admitting it here, on that being my life instead of what I'm doing, because they don't do it. See, so this is all synergistic for me when I watch this, because there was a crucial part of my life that this began at, and I knew all of this stuff. I can give you names, dates, places, Comet Ping Pong. We all heard these terms, whether we acknowledge them now or not. But these terms were all over the place, and all these videos and most of these documents that they're talking about from 20, 30 years ago. So knowing this, with the demise of your only one mother and all the stuff that goes along with that, is why this is so important to me. And then we're not even talking about the aspect of the victims. And I can't live in this world knowing that this shit is happening, and basically his exact same sentiments, but 10 years ago, and living with that and being gang stalked. I'm going a little personal to make my point. That's all I wanted to say, to let y'all know how crucial it is. Not all people can stomach the stuff that they're going to see if they go in these files. It is not for the tame. So y'all need to know that if y'all thinking about, I don't need to see none of that stuff. I've seen all that wild shit before the internet got restricted like it is now. Back then, you could see anything. It was like the dark web almost. It was like in the middle, you know what I'm saying? You could see anything. Now, it's like television. Come on, man, get out of here. I'm done, sweetie. Thank y'all. I'm going to listen. Y'all continue doing your thing. I'll be here. So, anybody got any questions, just hold them for me. I'll be around.
I wanted to say something too. Because of course he was talking about how disturbing it was. I would add to that, those of us black folks who's been victims of what this country concocts, I don't know why anybody would be surprised. I mean, the stealing of bodies from the continent, the stealing of bodies and land here in this country, feeding children to alligators, mutilating people. What was the name of that woman in, I believe it was Louisiana, who were taking her enslaved people and creating like Frankenstein, like putting animal wings on them, stitching them up. Then, of course, we got the book, The Delectable Negro, and We know who these. I think it's surprising to everybody else what they do. Because, I mean, get the book Without Sanctuary. Look how thousands of people came around and looked for the deletion of one person, and how everybody was carving up pieces and taking souvenirs. Go to the Great Blacks and Wax Museum. Just look at the exhibits downstairs. Mary Turner in particular. I always tell people, when I was younger, I've heard about these people pulling babies out of pregnant women's wombs and stomping their head in. And me, in my naivety as a young person, said, nah, these people ain't that evil. They ain't that evil. But of course, in my studies, I've learned her name. Her name is Mary Turner. They say her name. Her name was Mary Turner. To where not only did they shoot her, they tied her to a tree, set her on fire, then cut her belly open and took out the unborn child and stomped her head in. They held public lynchings in the front of courthouses with no one being arrested and indicted for deletion. I am not surprised. We could talk about Natchez, Mississippi, the Devil's Punch Bowl, where they buried tens of thousands of people in a mass grave. I mean, those who are disturbed by what these people do may not know who these people are. And I just wanted to put that there. And with that, I yield my time.
But the way I see it, Brother Tad, very profound what you said. But the way I see it is like, Bobby, I'm gonna put it in the way Bobby Hemming used to always put it. He says, yo, when you wake up into this, because everybody eventually wakes up, even some people in their deathbed. Yeah. But when you wake up, it's like maybe us four here is supposed to get up at 5:30 in the morning. If everybody else in the house is late bloomers and they want to get up 10, 11, yawning like, yo, I'm gonna go back to sleep. And you know, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they eating pancakes. We already did all kind of crazy shit. Now we tired from being up all day. You know, we supposed to nap, siesta. The world, the earth itself, in its most natural, purest form, is a tropical planet. Not 4 seasons in some places, hot most of the time in some places, cold most of the time in some places. It's supposed to be a tropical planet. So wherever we go, we supposed to manifest everything that nature's giving back to us. White people ain't giving us shit back. Nature's making them give it back.
Nah, I feel you.
It's a cosmic process. It's everything. Solar flares, all that. I mean, I didn't even talk about none of that. Schumann resonance. It's all popping off. It's popping off. Read the meters. This stuff is easy to find. I don't need to try to convince anybody.
Oh, you know, you ain't got to convince me. I'm just making a statement of fact of what we know to be true, because and not to minimize what you're saying. You know, I'm in agreement. I'm just saying that those who may doubt what you laid out, we got more digestible information, because sometimes you sound far-fetched, and like you said, it's for people who are late bloomers. You know what I mean? But we know when we study our own history that we see this. People are surprised because now it's happening to non-Black people. They're doing this to white children. But if you really go back, you learn that they've been practicing on their own people before they even sought out melanated people. You know, Dr. Clark said, yo, you want to learn your history? Study theirs. The term slave, when you hear slave and slavery, you automatically think us. And, you know, we don't like to say melanated really, but make it digestible for the layman, right? But darker folks, you hear slavery, you think Black people, but not knowing the root word of slavery is Slav, for the Slavic people, because they've been practicing these atrocities on their own folks. The Iron Maiden was created in Europe, not here, not in these tropical places. These people been torturing their own people, the guillotines and all that. Not saying that human suffering didn't exist around the world, but we know it's been documented on how they take pleasure in deleting one another. Orphanages, nursing homes, and group homes, and you know, we know what Plato had to say about male-female relationships, and we know the root word of mentor and what a gymnasium was for. And if you don't know, family, ask chat. It's too much history to go into that. So when we fast forward it today and we find out that they have these satanic rituals going on, why would we be surprised? When you study our history, you know it had to be nothing but pure evil to even create laws and sundown towns and all of this foolishness of this system that they operate in. You know, I'm just glad that people are taking notice, because like you said, what you're talking about, the ping pong pizza spot, and people try to dismiss it as if that wasn't real, but we've seen exposés. Let's not forget the Atlanta child deletions, where our children were being kidnapped. Let's not forget the Tuskegee experiment. Let's not forget the 4 little girls and how the young sister, out of the 4 little girls, Adam A. Collins' body was snatched out the grave and not recovered, that we know of. You know what I mean? Like, these people are a different type of people. But with that said, and as you talked about nature, we're the children of the sun. We are the natural beings. We're the first here. Our job is to set things back in motion. And I always like to be of the mind to not operate from a deficit. What do I mean when I say that? Stop reacting to everything they do, and let's be proactive to what it is we need to do. That will always put you in a deficit when you always on the defense. Why don't we get on the offense on what we need to do for ourselves? And you know, this is rhetorical, of course, because there are some people that are doing it. Shout out to Dr. Umar and his DAFA movement now. You know that's reactionary. that is reactionary. Now all of a sudden he got a new movement. You're gonna open the school first, then talk all that foolishness. But again, here's a quote unquote revolutionary that's reactionary. And this is what we see so much in our people. This is why FBA is so powerful, because everybody's reacting to us taking an assertive position. We on the offense. We like, you know what? No more. We not playing this. We elbowing folks out the way, because this is our shit. Whatever you want to call it, the culture, the music, the fashion, the style, the way we talk. This is our shit. This is our shit. And now that we reclaiming our shit, everybody on the defense. But nah, if they was proactive in their life, they would respect how we moving and just be like, nah, they right. They right. They from here, whether we want to agree or not. These people been here before the country was founded. These are the founders of this country. Let's let FBA have that. If that's who they want to be, let them be that. Jamaicans could be Jamaicans, but you know, I'm a proactive dude, man. You got to be proactive in your life, and that's the only way things are going to work for you, because too long we've run around with the victim mentality. So when we see something happening to another group, we want to identify with them. Oh, they shot that lady. I shot that white lady. So what? And not to be, not to be insensitive, but what Rico said and paid in full, people get shot every day, B. You know what I'm saying? But why should we identify with other people who are victims of their own system? Because we have a victimhood mentality. So anytime we see somebody get hurt, we want to empathize when we still ain't got our act together. So I'm going to step off my soapbox so we can get the show started. But thank you, Brother Black.
I wanted to address this comment. Is it this one? Well, it's in relation. And this one. For the same troll. No one on the face of the earth kill more of themselves than white men and white women.
Say that again.
There has never been a time since 1776 when this country hasn't been at war with itself and outside. Nobody, and I mean nobody, kills more people than white folks. It's a historical fact. It is a military fact. And don't come up here with them trolling comments. Either you know what you're talking about or shut the hell up over here. So, as Taz says, you can't dwell on what's happening now, because it's always happened to us. It's always, and that's why it pisses me off when people get in their feelings, or a lot of these immigrants, no matter the hue, talk about ICE or anything else. And they say, well, y'all next. No, we were first. And you did nothing. Even when you came to this country, you did nothing. Even though the country was provided for you, tangibles were provided for you, you did nothing. And you still doing nothing. So even in the midst of all the diatribe that's been going on, still, I haven't seen any Pan-African spaces to discuss the disrespect of foundational Black Americans. I haven't seen any diaspora spaces dealing with this issue. Everybody want to push it under the rug. And so, as more and more folks catch hell, good luck. Good luck. Nobody cared, as Taz said, when they were throwing our babies in the river for alligators to eat. Nobody cared. Nobody cared when, I believe, maybe in 2021, we had an interview with Dr. Antoinette Harrell and Reverend Gaddy. Reverend Gaddy talked about him being taken at the age, I think, 8 years old, for skipping school, put in a home where he was abused in every way imaginable in Florida. Nobody cared. Now you have these pink pale children in these Epstein files, and everybody's in an uproar. Nobody cared. Nobody. So when you have immigrants and migrants who come to these shores and talk reckless, when up until the 1960s, as Dr. Antoinette Harrell taught us, May Louise Miller and her family still enslaved in Mississippi. And none of these Pan-African spaces deal with it. None of these immigrant spaces deal with it. You like to sugarcoat shit. Well, over here, shit ain't sugarcoated. We give you the real over here. So don't come over here with no foolishness. Don't come over here with no foolishness. Right now, white men are at war with themselves. You got those of the Anglo hue fighting with the Jews and vice versa. Now I love it. I'm on the sidelines loving it all. Good luck. Good luck. And all of you immigrants, you like to talk shit. Black Americans is lazy. You don't do this and that. Well, they rounding y'all up. Left, right, and center. And if you keep talking reckless, I am the first one to call ICE on your ass. Okay? I got the number programmed in my phone. I don't argue with nobody with an accent. While you arguing, I'm down. So, don't start none, won't be none. Sister Brooke, you ready?
Hey, K5, you treating that phone like a gun.
Listen, if you want it, I can bring it. That's all I'm saying. If you want it, and I can bring it, I call cap on all of these groups who talking about they for the people. You a liar. You're a liar, and I can prove it. Invite me to your platform so I can tell you in your face you a liar. Okay? Sister Brooke, give you a few minutes, or are you ready? She ready. Reparation activist of New York, up on the Brooklyn Bridge. Sister Brooke, what's happening?
What is going on, family? Hello, everyone. Hello, Sister Marcia. How are you? Hello, Brother Black.
Hey, Sister Brooke.
I feel for you. I definitely understand being the one who sees things that other people don't see early, so I definitely understand where you're coming from when you were talking earlier. especially in your family. Hello, big bro Tad. How you doing over there?
What up, sis? I'm chilling most smooth, trying to bust a move, taking it light,
So,
breathing easy.
You was preaching when you was talking about, the what our ancestors have gone through on this land with these people. I love when Professor Kaba says, "I'm surprised that you're surprised."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really, hey, big sis, Keisha, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
ready
good.
for the lesson because I know it's coming.
Yeah, we got a lot to get into. This comment right here. Not a victimhood mentality. We have been groomed and trained with the psychic leash, I think, and loyalties to the slave master, which reinforce the bond with slave and master, risking their lives for what? What? This is giving Pan Babble over here. It's giving Pan Babble over here.
I just want to say real quick, sis, and I'm gonna give you the mic back. When we identify as slaves, we do a disservice to Frederick Douglass, Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, and all of those who really had to endure, who never identified with that identity of being a slave. They knew they were enslaved, they knew they were in bondage, but they didn't adopt that identity. Therefore, they didn't behave as such. They behaved as what? Freedmen and freed women. We didn't get our freedom at the benevolence of somebody just saying, "Oh, this ain't right, let's let them go." No, we fought every step of the way. It was those who accepted their conditions, just like today. In today's society, people still smoke crack, still shoot heroin, still sniff cocaine, knowing what it does. I'm surprised when I see people still smoking cigarettes. And this ain't no judgment. I'm just saying. So at what point do we take personal responsibility for where we are in life? And then we wonder why we don't have, and we want to blame everybody else except the decisions we make. I never been enslaved, and the only white people that put their hands on me were the police. They may rough me up a little bit because I have a tendency to defend myself. Thank goodness, they ain't had to delete me. However, the identity I hold on to is of a free Black man with his own mind to take his life in his hands. And I'm responsible for every decision I make, good, bad, and indifferent. Do I get it right? No, I don't get it right all the time, but I don't always get it messed up neither, because I'm not where I used to be and I'm not where I'm going. So I take the moment to stand where I am, assess where I'm going in life, and move in that direction, and nobody's going to stop me. Isn't that what Harriet Tubman did? Let nobody stop her. Risked her life and limb. See, we like to say that we're on a plantation and we're a slave. Ain't nobody my master. When we talk about history, I don't call them masters. I call them plantation owners, because that's who they were. They owned the plantation, not the people. You can't own people. We don't even own our children. We raise them to a certain point and hope that by the time they move out of our house, they got enough information to make solid decisions for themselves. So nobody owns nobody, not even our children. So again, we have to divorce these identities that we be holding on to, because it's really not, it's not serving us. And that's why everybody mad at FBA, because they can't just call us nigger no more. They can't call us uncultured. Because now we weaponize our story. And we taking back everything that Pan-Africans and every other Black person on the planet been holding on to. Well, it's Black people that made the traffic light. It's Black people that made the filament. No, say Black Americans. But stop playing with it. Give us our props. Give us our due. People trying to claim Malcolm now. Malcolm, you could call Malcolm a tether. Malcolm wasn't no damn tether. Cut it out. Cut it out. Stop playing now. But see, that's people being disingenuous because they beholden to this identity that was given to them. See, real freedom, and I'm going to pass the mic after this because I'm going to go back to my Pan-Africanism. But let's go to the principle of Kwanzaa, Kuji Chagalia, self-determination. I tell you who I am. You don't tell me who you think I am. That is self-determination. That is what makes us great. That is what made us so influential, because no matter what was done to us on this United States soil, I don't know what went on in Haiti, Jamaica. I ain't never been to none of these places. The furthest I've been was Ethiopia and Ghana. But I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, and I could tell you how we gave it up on this soil. Y'all see how we move. We move smooth. So again, let's divorce these identities that's forced on us. Because as FBA, that's us saying we us, and we standing on that, and everybody mad because no longer can you identify us. You can't call us African American. You can't call us Negro. You can't call us colored. You can't call us nigga. You can't. No, I'm gonna tell you who I am. And if you don't like it, let's just shoot the 5 minutes, get it off our chest. And I'm off my soapbox. Welcome back, Ted. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Ted. Welcome back. Whooping ass already.
Woo!
Woo! Sister Brooke, how are you today?
I am well. I had some challenges, but I'm here on the bridge, so I'm doing well.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. It's getting better. It's getting better, God darn it. Yes. It's getting better. Yes. So, a lot of things have happened since last week.
And it's like rapid fire.
Yes.
It's like it don't stop. I'm like, I cannot stop posting. Can I stop posting? The videos are getting backed up on me.
No, you can't stop posting. You can't stop posting.
Gracious.
Since Tab brought it up, coming back, starting trouble. Let's go to the Prince of Pan-Africanism over here, shall we?
Prince of Panhandling.
You know.
CK Fighter, how you always be starting trouble? See?
I
leave our leader alone. Long as Dr. Sukiyana.
The level of psychosis,
I forgot
is bewildering to me. Not just for him, but for people who continue to interview with him and converse with him. It's bewildering. And that's the kindest word I can say. But we're going to play this clip and we'll come right back since Taz started. Hold on.
I think that they believe that the reparations belong to descendants of slaves. Well, I'm going to say this as a Pan-Africanist, because we invented the reparations fight. It don't come from FBA. It don't come from Adolf. This was around before they were born. You feel me? Pan-Africanists gave birth to it.
Wrong.
Word.
Here's proof. Here's an example of a wide-scale reparations claim that predates Pan-Africanism. In 1897, Kelly House and Isaiah Dickinson founded the National Ex-Slave Mutual Relief Bounty and Pension Association, or MRB&PA. Dickinson organized chapters across the country while House led the legal battles, even filing a $68 million lawsuit against the federal government. Their fight was entirely U.S. focused, no Pan-Africanism, no Africa, because we ain't Africans.
Understanding of it is, I think that they believe that the reparations belong.
I'm glad people see the BS for what it is. I'm going to let Sister Brooke start off with this one. I didn't want to play a full clip of it because I'll just get riled up again, and I don't want to be riled up. We didn't even get to 9 o'clock yet, and I still got a lot to discuss. So, Sister Brooke, when you first saw this interview in its entirety, what were your thoughts?
Why he not doing what he qualified to do? Which is help children and parents. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
With the IEP.
He ain't qualified. He's not qualified.
He's not even qualified to do it. The whatchamacallit, to help kids and stuff like that with the IEPs.
Come on, son. What job has he had since he's been in the spotlight? I know.
But that's the thing. I feel like he likes the spotlight more than he likes helping actual children and parents. He wants to go viral. He wants to be the most requested speaker, instead of doing what he went to school to do. Right? Didn't he go to school to do that? So, right.
Thank you, sis.
So let's just say, okay, so why are you not doing that? Right now, we got the whole, how do you even say this online? We got sectors of people, the letter community, trying to change children's genders without their parents' knowledge. We got boys and girls sports. We got them teaching everything except for reading, writing, and arithmetic. Why aren't you helping parents navigate through this? Because this is how I became familiar. Because when I worked at a school, that is how I became familiar, because everything he was saying about the school systems was 100% spot on. About how, you know what I'm saying, they use charter schools, because I was at a charter school at that. They use charter schools to enter in gentrification through the teachers. You know what I mean? Trying to find a place to stay closer to the school and da-da-da-da-da. Like, everything he was saying made sense. So I wanted to know, how come he's not doing anything in regards to that? I want to know, how your mama doing? Where your mama at? Because your cousin said that he want to see his grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't letting him see his grandma. Where your mama at? Are you still living in her Section 8 apartment? Or living off of her little pennies and fuse that she getting from Social Security or whatever? And then, at last we heard, your school was going up for auction. If you still have that property, where'd you get that money? And was the money you received tied to this new movement you got? I mean, I just got questions. I just got questions all the way around the board, like all the way around. And then you say that you are descendant of Frederick Douglass, when Frederick Douglass said we not Africans. When Frederick Douglass was around when the term freedman became our legal status. And how can you be freedmen of Africa? First of all, did Africa ever free anybody? They still... I don't even want to go there right now, because I know you guys got a certain amount of time. I don't want to go off on a tangent, because I can go off on a whole something else, right? But that's the thing. You don't understand the law. Stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to, okay? Which is IEPs, parents, children. And did you pay that woman for the movie? That terrible, terrible movie. Did you pay her? That movie where you made yourself, you read the script and you still did that movie. It made you look real bad and you still did it. Can you read? Anyway, so I just got questions.
I'm sorry,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody put in the chat that he taking Jesse Jackson place. I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
You know what? It seemed like that's what he want to do. Only thing missing is a bloody shirt. So everybody stay far away from him, because he the type to change your room from downstairs to upstairs. He the type to not wear a tie. He the type to be inside when everybody else is on the balcony. He the type to take the blood, put it on his shirt, and then fly to Chicago. I kept saying DC in another room, but it's Chicago. And fly to Chicago and lie in front. So stay far, which I don't really think anybody's going to get too close to him, except for that person doing the interview. And even the guy doing the interview, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, hun. Why? Like, why? If you're not well-versed, if you can't ask the questions, and did you ask it? Look, like I said, why? And who do you work for now? Who paying your bills? Because I know your little donations drying up. So who's paying your bill? So what money is behind your freedmen of African freedmen? And back to the legal termination, the legal term of that. We are American freedmen because we were freed in America. We were not freed in Africa. And the few of our ancestors that came from Africa would be called human traffic victims of Africa. They would not be freedmen because when they left Africa, they weren't free. Africa never once gave any of our ancestors freedom. We got that here. And I'll land there. Because I know President Biden is coming soon, and I know he's about to tear it up with the Frederick Douglass. Okay?
Uh-oh. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The U.S. Freedmen Project very own president up on the Brooklyn Bridge. The U.S. Freedmen Project is our lobbying group for reparations, disaggregation, and delineation. Brother Devon, welcome to the Brooklyn Bridge.
Man, oh man, oh man. I don't know what number we up to, but this gotta, whatever the number is, whether it's the 8th, 9th, or 10th, the Brooklyn Bridge is the 10th wonder of the world. You understand what I'm saying? Up here, you don't know what's gonna happen or what's gonna go down or what's gonna be revealed.
You never know.
So whatever number we at, that's the wonder of the world we are. And so
you gonna put a Mount Rushmore on the bridge?
Say that again.
You gonna put a Mount Rushmore on the bridge of the 5 greatest from Brook?
No. The bridge is Mount Rushmore.
That's what I'm talking about.
We don't got to put the bridge on Mount Rushmore. We are around Mount Rushmore.
That's right.
And so, just want to say good night and hello to Sister Marcia, Sister Brooke, Brother Black, my OGs, Brother Tad, and Sister Keish, running the show.
What up?
Like we always do.
But Brother Devon, real quick. All right, this is an FBA platform. You can't come in and say good night. That's when you're leaving. Hello, good night. You can't come in and say good night, bro.
I wanted Brother Black to feel at home. You heard? I'm coming in, with times and offers.
Oh, y'all crazy.
Y'all gonna make me pee on myself tonight.
Hello, good night. I turned that mic off again.
Yo, on that note, that is so crazy. Like, because the first man, listen, I almost got cursed out, coming up, like I told y'all, like coming up in the specialized school system. I remember the first time I called one of my shorties' cribs, and I can't remember what island she was from, but I called and her pops picked up the phone. And he was like, hello, good night. And I was like, okay. I thought I was being pranked. I'm like, is he about to hang up? And I just didn't say nothing. And he was on some, you know how they talk. Who playing on my phone? I'm like, nah, I don't. You said good night. I'm thinking you leaving. And that's when I kind of started to understand for the first time the differences in our culture. And it's just we obviously it's been going down this road ever since. I didn't have the terms and the likes of delineation, but I do remember that even back then, since I brought that memory back, it was me and 2 other people in my high school, and we were the only now what we call foundational Black Americans. And then, even then, we understood a sort of difference, and we used to call ourselves Team R&B for the music, but also because R&B meant regular Black. And so even then, we knew that there was a difference, not any good, bad, right or wrong, but it was like, hold on,
a difference, yeah.
Something's not the same. Like they don't get the jokes that we making. They don't understand the stuff that we saying, and we don't understand a lot of stuff they saying because they would talk. One of the things that I did see, and I understand even more prevalent now, is that when I was around my Afro immigrant friends back then, and if they were in the minority, then they would talk like us. Whenever they got into the majority, all the accents that I never heard of and wasn't brought up hearing came out. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh yeah, this is something else. I don't know what this is, especially since growing up at that time, because of Pan-Africanism, because of different ideologies that governed our social lives and our political lives. We were socialized just to believe everybody was black. So we just all thought we was just different versions of black. And to us, the different blacks was if you was from Brooklyn or the Bronx or Manhattan. We didn't really know nobody from Staten Island back then, but you know what I'm saying. Right. And so it's like that was the different blacks for us because we all talked different and sounded different, acted different, but we all still knew we was family, but we knew we were different. And so when I first got a chance to say some of the accents, I'm like, wait, I know we different, but that was the first time I questioned whether all black was family. And, slowly but surely it's being revealed that we are not. And so, just a full circle moment with that, coming in saying goodnight before leaving.
Yeah, that's funny. And shout out to From Tiffany with Love. She said, rest in peace to comedian Rashid Thurman. If you remember his stand-up about Jamaicans and the Puerto Rican poppy, yo, he was a legend before his time. Rashid Thurman. I don't know if any of y'all ever had a chance to check him out. He was on the Bad Boys of Comedy. Like, he was on his way. And he's from
I just work in the store, papi.
I'm about to say, was that the brother doing the different accents in the grocery stores and the bodega?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was he on Comic View?
I don't remember Comic
View. I think it was. Wasn't it Def Comedy Jam?
It was on.
One of them.
Puff was doing the Bad Boys of Comedy. Remember?
Okay.
Puff was doing Bad Boys of Comedy.
Yeah.
And hilarious. He was hilarious.
Yes.
It was all original, all relatable, honest. Word.
Yes.
He's like, Bobby, give me $5. I'm gonna shoot your ass. You gonna shoot me right here? That's okay. I live right here.
He said, Bobby, why the cat always on the bread? That's when we get
Don't
that.
worry, it's okay.
He live here.
It's okay. It's okay. But rest in peace to him.
Jamaican accent he would do. Oh my goodness. That was hilarious.
How much is that 40 right there?
This one right here? This one? Let me go to the back and find out, Brandon.
Definitely. So, continuing on, I just thought a skit that he did, but definitely good at his craft.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yes, rest in
my
peace.
brother Rashid Thurman. Word.
Yes, Brooklyn, stand up.
I think if he was still around, man, he was one of them ones. He was one of them ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, in recent Tether news, we're gonna come right back. Whoever wants to jump on it first.
Oh, this chick.
I'm Haitian. Why? Where you from? What's your background? You American? Dirty black American?
Wait, what?
Huh? What?
Wait, what you
American?
say?
Black American? What?
No. Hold on. You said dirty black American.
You heard that? You just asked me what I said. I did.
Why you said that?
Because that's what y'all are. Dirty black American.
She just said that?
I did. A dirty black American. I sure did. Because that's what y'all are.
Just chill out on that dirty black American comment. That's all.
I'm sorry. You really took offense to that. I apologize.
Anybody would take offense to that.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't.
Why you said that though? I'm saying, why would you even fix your lips to say that though? I'm confused.
Because that's just my experience. Like, it's my experience. So I'm gonna speak on it. But I apologize.
It's your experience?
Yeah. So I apologize.
What experience you had?
If I offended you.
You accept the apology?
No.
Yeah, like that's super disrespectful. Like,
she did say it's dirty black Haitians too, though.
Nah, I would never fix my lips to say, and I know some dirty black Haitians. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would never fix my lips to say dirty black. I wouldn't generalize, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and now it is, bro. This is why we having the diaspora wars, because the dumb shit words. Remember that other Haitian, bro? Remember the other Haitian shit?
Care about nationalities. It's all about the personality to me.
You just said
no. I'm sorry. I can't do Americans. I need somebody with culture. I'm sorry.
Black Americans got culture. Americans got culture. You rolling. It must be a Haitian thing for sure. Like, yeah.
So, A lot to unpack here.
Hold on. I want to send you a video right now.
All right. And then
Right.
whoever wants to take this first, I'm going to wrap it up. Listen.
So while
like
she's sending you,
these type of comments aren't minute, right? It happens on a grand scale, especially in these type of spaces. And that's why I say, you know, to the pan goofies, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Because y'all be dead effing quiet.
I just want to understand why those people even entertained these women. They should have been kicked off their platform because that level of disrespect should not be entertained. And they're going back and forth with her on comments. No, broad, leave. You don't belong here. If you cannot respect other people and even yourself, because now a whole nother group of people is down on your words. All my Haitian brothers and sisters are down on these people. My parents are down on these two ignorant people. And that's not fair to us. So those people who are condoning and engaging them in conversation are equally as fallible. And that's all I have to say on that. Because,
well, I'm glad you said something. I was going to ask you what's your thoughts. What I find ironic, though, is where the hell was a Haitian accent? She acting like she from the hood. She trying to have that. So again, stop swagger jacking, acting like you one of us. And come on, man.
Speaking of swagger jacking, Keisha, please play that video.
You know what? Let me tell you how it works around here. I already had that saved in my queue.
Okay.
How it works around here.
I want to show this before I say anything.
All right, here we go, family. Buckle up.
The lady that said that we're dirty black Americans, looking like she used to chew on shitty diapers in Haiti. This is before she let our culture get to her and, you know, kind of change up her swag a little bit. My thing is, just like I told Star Dawkins, it's always a Caribbean that was taught by their self-hating mother to hate themselves and everybody else around them to project their feelings onto us. Once again, I encourage all of y'all to look up the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Black Americans put that in place so that y'all can bring y'all ass over here and complain. First of all, y'all only want to be inclusive to our culture when it's beneficial to y'all. Castanet, Star Dawkins, her for this matter. Like, bitch, you did not look like that when you was in Haiti or when you first came over here. Was trying to learn the black American culture. You did not look like that, bitch. You look like you used to be in Haiti. Seriously. Then when they asked her, hey, why'd you say that? She talking about some, oh, that's just my experience, but then failed to elaborate. My thing is, y'all think it's the land of milk and honey, bitch. People didn't literally die for this shit. It's like y'all don't want to look up the civil rights and y'all want to act like it didn't fucking happen, just like the fucking white people. I just wish we weren't so inclusive with everybody else because we always get the short end of the stick. They would never do that same for us. And then on top of that, I like how the boy had her apologize. She apologized like 3 times and did not accept her apology because don't have to spare her feelings because she said sorry, bitch. Bitch wasn't sorry when she said that. And he clocked her when he was like, no, you just thought that everybody in here was like, you thought everybody in here was Caribbean, so you could say that. And then he said, we're not a culture, we're the culture. That's very true. She tried to brush past it. No. And what he mean by the culture, walking, talking, and dressing like black Americans. And on top of that, everybody knows if your song is liked by black Americans, you done damn near made it. Like, seriously, once it integrates into the black culture, bitch, you made it. And that's just proof of the pudding. I don't have to elaborate on that. Oh, and I don't want nobody getting offended by that Caribbean mother self-hate stuff because I'm not lying. Anytime you ask a Caribbean girl, hey, how'd your mother treat you when you was younger? She's not going to say she woke me up every morning and told me I'm loved. She probably told you you look crazy, you look this, you look that, you look skinny, all of that. I'm not
lying. Now I'm ready.
Go.
Because I want you to see a picture of her before she got here. It was influenced by us and women like me and women like, you know what I'm saying, like Keisha. Okay? Black American women. Okay? Before she learned how to contour that schnoz. Okay? Before she learned how to put some lip gloss on. Yeah, show that picture. Okay? All of that. Look how she looked. I'm not going to call her dirty. I'm not going to say none of that. I'm going to say, look at the glow up. Look at the glow up.
That's the same chick?
That's the same girl. Look at the glow up. I don't even got to say much. Who's the dirty black American? I didn't hear not one. You couldn't even hear her accent. You could barely hear her accent.
At all.
She walking like us, talking like us, dressing like us, doing her hair like us. We invented baby hairs.
Tell them again.
So you got baby hair combed in the front. You're wearing leggings. Look at your outfit. And you look like you had a BBL. From American doctors. So when you sit here and you say shit like that, I don't really have to say much. All I got to do is show a picture of you before you got here. That's it. And I've heard people talk about, oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh, how come it wasn't other Americans, or, you know, that they should have held them more accountable? Because you can't have a person like me in the room, a person like Keisha in the room when that's happening. Because it'd have been closed the show, roll of credits. It'd have been over. Because I'd have hit her in that schnoz. She wouldn't have said that. And in fact, she wouldn't even came out her face and said nothing like that. Like I said, she said what she said because she thought she was around family. That's why her head snapped, or damn near snapped off her neck. Oh, you heard that? You heard that? Fuck is you? Who are you talking to? And this is why she's not the only one. This is not the only time that people have heard this. People have played themselves or tried to play themselves in front of me. And then when they find out I'm American, all of a sudden they walking it back. You walking it back. You walking it back. You want us to be dirty. You want us to be swagless. You want us to be ugly. You want us to be the stereotype that YT folks have told you about us. But the problem is you grew up watching Beyonce. You grew up, and I could go back. You know, your parents grew up watching Diane Carroll, Felicia Rashad. Okay? So when you say things like this, it makes you look dumb. And they say she has a business. I don't know if you have that video. I'll try to find it for you if you need it. But they say she has a business, a beauty business. Let me ask you a question. Would she be able to have a beauty business in Haiti right now? She does lashes. Nope. So who did she even know about lashes? When she had that red,
not from that picture
on.
Not from that picture.
That wasn't even, I'm not even gonna call that a dress. That was a frock. And I know the Caribbeans know that term. You ain't even have on a red dress. You had on a frock. And now you have on designer. Because you was influenced by us. And while you had on that frock, truth be told, you was wishing you was here with us. And now you gonna come here and talk shit? All right, I'm done. I'll let y'all go ahead. Because you know I can go on.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, but to kind of get away from where Sister Brooke was going, because I think she's qualified to talk about it from that angle. I want to kind of go back to what Sister Marcia said, because I think this is at least what sticks in my craw, like, about this entire conversation. And so I'm glad even Brother Tad said, you know, he was going to ask her if she didn't come out. So I'm glad she voluntarily voiced her opinion first before any of us. Because this is, for me, again, y'all know where I go with it always. This is one of the fatal flaws of Pan-Africanism. Because Pan-Africanism is what empowers this. And what has put the battery in the back of these Afro immigrants when they get here. And I've said this before on the show and elsewhere when I was speaking in front of the school, in front of the class of one of the universities I was speaking at. And I asked everyone to raise their hands if they thought this group or that group was ahead of foundational Black Americans or freedmen because they worked hard and it had nothing to do with being propped up by the system of white supremacy. So I went through all the immigrant ethnicities and races, and no one raised their hand when it came down to, oh, they're where they're at because they work harder than us. The only points of contention came when I got to the Afro immigrant ethnicities, where some people seemed hesitant to have that same energy in regards to knowing that they were in the position that they were in because they were propped up by white supremacy, not because they simply came here and worked harder than foundational Black Americans. And that is directly due to the indoctrination of Pan-Africanism. Because Pan-Africanism lied to us and told us that these people are just like us, get treated by white supremacy just like us. Mm-hmm. And what that lends itself to is when they get elevated, that means foundational Black Americans did something wrong or lack in a specific area because they have not reached the heights of a recent arrived Afro immigrant who is obviously being subject to the same treatment as foundational Black Americans are and were. And so what that does is that gives them a false sense of superiority and a stench of arrogance. Because as Sister Brooke just said, you can't tell that Haitian sister nothing. She believes that glow up came from her on the inside because she came here and worked hard. And so because of that belief, you have to lean on it to justify your anti-Black hatred. Because that's what the white supremacists do, right? They rig the game on both ends so that when you succeed, it's DEI, and when you fail, it's a cultural thing. That's the same thing that the immigrants do, Afro immigrants included. And so our issue is the same issue that we had. We went to the Caribbean corner and we had to check them in person. If you are not her, why aren't you snatching her down? If that's not how you feel, why did it take that foundational Black American brother to even begin to open up his mouth and check her? That other brother in there, I believe, is either 100% Caribbean or a bi-ethnic.
That's right.
And so even when you've rolled the first clip, when the sister said, well, and I'm using sister loosely, the first Haitian woman said, oh no, I need to deal with somebody with culture. You see that brother that's foundational Black American was like, what you talk about? But the bi-ethnic brother or 100% Caribbean brother said, keep the cameras rolling. Because they are in it for the clicks and views. Mm-hmm. They understand that the best way to go viral or the best way to get traffic is to disrespect foundational Black Americans. Because you're going to get the white supremacist views. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get the outrage because you know that we consistently and constantly stand on business. So see, now it's a tricky thing because you can find yourself canceled very, very quickly. But he understands that because he has a foundational Black American co-host, that he's less likely to get canceled when he deals in the fuck shit. And so right. I would have to agree with Sister Marcia when she said those two brothers are equally at fault, because I don't care how long you let it go on, the camera should have not stopped rolling until you kicked her punk ass out. No matter how long you go to make your point or get whatever views you feel like you need to get, or to check her and not take her apology and not accept it, I'm okay with all that so that the family can see what's going on. But I need you to make sure that the cameras don't stop rolling until she's kicked out for that type of disrespect. Because when you play with that type of disrespect, it only elevates and escalates to them doing more and doing more and doing more. And I don't want to see it get here. But some people not going to learn until hands and feet get put on them. And I'm not saying, in the words of Chris Rock, even though we know he's a little bit compromised too, I don't condone the violence, but I understand.
Another one is equal rights and equal lefts.
And equal feats.
True indeed, true indeed. But you know, it just disturbing how, you know, I'm speaking to Brother Tad because we've come from pretty much the same element, that those folks don't even touch this issue.
Nope.
Even in the height of what they call diaspora wars, we ain't going with nobody.
Word.
We getting rid of the buffer class. That's what we doing. You see, we dealing with the buffer class, but again, they don't want to deal with this issue. So that's why I call cap on all y'all. You're lying. You're lying. Every last one of y'all. And since Sister Brooke mentioned, you know, that they follow us for the standard of beauty, there was a Nigerian woman who said the exact same thing.
Oh, I already know who you about to play. Yes, yes. I love this girl.
Hold on.
Girls who are on my page and you really want to pop neck and act like y'all doing something special with your beauty standards. Bitch, everything that you guys have in Nigeria, beauty standards, started from the black woman. Just know that. Your nails, your fucking Lagos hairline, all that shit is black women. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me and go back in your history books and remember how you guys really started your beauty standard, what our hairstyles were, what beauty really was. Y'all really come out your neck acting like y'all really did something special. The BBLs that you guys are all fucking dropping money on, half damn near dying from, where'd y'all get that from? If y'all really got it naturally, why are y'all all looking like fucking Build-A-Bears all through Lagos? What's the fucking issue? What are we talking about? You bitches look up to every single IG bitch that is an American. Y'all look up to all the American girls. You look up to all of America when it comes to it. Black girls when it comes to your beauty standard. Y'all really be out here talking out your neck, but you really know who made you. To the night.
That's another thing with the fake behinds. Trying to tell us, oh no, y'all got BBLs and we on African and natural. No, you not. Sister Keisha, have you seen that? Even, you know, the whole Nigerian outfit, like, you know, with the wrap and everything, you know, the whole dress, you know, it's like a peplum dress, everything. You know that dress come with hips.
Stop playing.
Hips is in the skirt. So they've been sitting here lying to us and telling us, you know what I'm saying, that they all natural. No. I'm so happy you played that video.
They lying?
Lying.
You know, it's crazy. And that's why, you know, we pulled up to that spot.
That's right.
The G checked the whole goddamn room. The host, the panel, and the goddamn audience. We had the G check the whole goddamn room. Because this is the ideal, as Pat said. This is what they believe. You know what I mean? You have such hatred and vitriol for the system that you throw us in there with it. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. Even with the accolades. You know, like I said, I'm a researcher and I take the good and the bad of all of our history. You know what I mean? I don't look for feel-good moments. I take the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we deal with it. But remember, recently, they had the BAFTA Awards in what was that? London, England, or whatever the hell it was. Now, this person, I never heard of him, Davidson, who's a European actor. he gets up there because he's in the audience, and they say he has Tourette syndrome. So when Delroy Lindo and Ryan Coogler get up there, he blurts out the N-word. Then later on, that academy said, well, he has Tourette's, and these are some of the tics and stuff that happen. Let me tell you something. I'm not a doctor, but I can read and I can comprehend. When you have Tourette's, you do have tics and you do have outbursts. Not everybody has the same level. If you're thinking of something, for example, if I'm thinking of a hamburger, or I walk past a hamburger stand, I might blurt out, nasty hamburger, good hamburger, or whatever. If it's already in your mind, you're going to say it. Because they have Tourette's, they can't control the urge. So that evil demon already had that in his mind, so he couldn't hold it. It had to come out. Because there were other people who received awards who weren't European, Caucasian. You had some Latinos. You had an Indian lady up there. Well, that's where she looked at me. But all the people weren't Caucasian. He didn't yell nothing out at them. You see what I'm saying? So now, BAFTA, whatever the hell they are, that's a dumbass name anyway, but they're trying to already give excuses for this demon. But now you got some of the English folks who are brown, who was talking nifty about FBA. Now they want to come around. You messing with the FBA now. It's on. Why wasn't it on before? Why did you cower? Because if you had it popping, they wouldn't have tried that. But you ain't got nothing popping.
Because they can't.
We always been the fighters while y'all cow down or flee. Remember this girl? She talked reckless about FBA. Now she trying to change her tone. Again,
she kind of likes us.
Yes. Now changing the tone because they always want us to fight their battles that they can't fight or won't fight.
Refuse.
Suckers. Hold on.
What is so funny to me is that the BBC and BAFTA have not felt heat from Black people like this before, because now they're messing with Black Americans. The funny thing is to me that BBC have always played in Black people's faces, but they were British Black people, and we don't really have the numbers in the UK. We're like 2%, 3% of the country. There's not a lot of us, and
pause.
I'm so glad you're pausing it.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go.
What you mean you don't got the numbers? Okay, the 5 of us, Sister Brooke, Brother Divine, Tad, myself, Brother Sadie. 6. The sister we met there, the FBA sister we met there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 5. Where was that number?
5.5 because she left.
Yeah. We was outnumbered. We didn't give a F. It was on popping. I said it. I said what I said with my full chest.
Mm-hmm.
And I told the dude who was talking reckless, make your move. You feeling froggy, jump.
They got quiet.
I will gut you like a fish. Go ahead. So what you talking about? You just let the cat out the bag that you come from Cali. But let me continue.
we're not really that joint in standing on business. We're not very, as British people, we're more keep calm and carry on. We'll complain, but we won't stand on business. Whereas Black Americans stand on business. And anytime BAFTA in the past has played in Black people's faces, nothing has been done about it. Like, I remember 4 years ago, BAFTA didn't nominate anyone of color. So and no one, nothing was done. The thing is, to live in the UK as a non-white person,
you kind of just have to get used to white people playing in your face. The racism is so real that I didn't realize how racist. I knew Britain was racist, but I didn't know how really racist Britain was until I moved to America. Because there's things that would perfectly slide in the UK that do not slide in America. Like Black Americans do not play. I kind of love them for it. I kind of love them for standing on business in a way that we just can't. We don't have the numbers or the sensibility. Like we're too polite. We're too British. Anyway, now that the BAFTAs have caused a fuss with Black Americans, oh, they're not. They don't know peace. They don't know peace. I've already seen people, there's BAFTA America, by the way, and there's also BBC America. So fuck around and find out.
I'm glad she's amused.
Exactly, you coward.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You just flee or two. You done fled because her family from her old video said one is European, the other one is Nigerian. So y'all keep fleeing. You done fled from the homeland, then you fled. Oh, he is fled from the homeland, fled to the UK. Now you're over here. You're a coward.
And want to hide behind us again. But again, that's what our legacy is. Go ahead, brother Devon.
Oh yeah, I just want to say, like, this is. I'm glad this is a perfect segue from what Sister Keisha said and talked about when we went to the Caribbean corner to now. And just for the record, because I somebody questioned me or hit me in a DM one time, and it was like, yeah, well, it was Pan-Africans there, so it was you keep saying the Caribbean corner like there weren't any Africans or anybody else in the room. Let me tell you something, and this might be a newsflash to you, but it ain't a newsflash to us. When Pan-Africans get together, ain't no damn actual Africans there.
Word.
Like, actual Africans ain't Pan-African. So that's why it's the Caribbean corner. Because there was more Caribbeans in here than anybody else. So let's be clear. That's why we keep saying it was a conversation about us without us. Because everybody there that was heavily melanated, because our sister Keisha said everybody got melanin. So heavily melanated was not foundational Black American, or they was by ethnics, and there was no Africans in the corner. So I can't call it the African corner. So yes, it's the Caribbean corner. So again.
And they called it the Caribbean corner, not us.
Bye.
Right. And so this is the perfect segue from her talking about the Caribbean corner, because this is, and what she's saying in real time is the leaning that Sister Keisha was talking about. In real time, that they all tried to deny and play stupid about. That's what she's saying. She's saying, oh, they've done shit to us in the past.
I can sit back.
But now I get the lean because they did something to the fighters. And now, and here's the key, is also because it's Sister Brooke about. She didn't say, oh, they about to get the smoke from Foundation Black Americans, and based on what they did to me and my people in the past, I'm joining them and taking up arms too. No, she said, oh, they did some racist shit to me. I moved. And now they about to have smoke with the Foundation Black Americans, and I'm going to sit back and watch. This is what they do. And talk about an identity crisis. These are the things that they tell themselves and lie about. Shorty said, we don't really do anything to the British because we British. Sister, you are Afro-immigrant in the UK. You is not British. Your family came from someplace else and then anchored you in the UK. You ain't British, but that is the excuse. And if you don't do that because you're so British, how come they're so British but do that to you? The definition of British is shifting here in real time. We got 3 different definitions from British from the same person that says she British. And so the biggest thing is that she said that also, that I want to point out too, while I'm on this soapbox, and I'll get off it for you, Brother Tad. Pause. So you can get back on it when you need to. She said, I didn't understand how racist the UK was until I got to America, because the stuff that flew without a fuss in the UK doesn't fly in the United States of America.
Sure.
Another newsflash. That don't mean it was more racist in the UK. You just came to a place where the thorough black people is at. So, because no matter what happened in the UK, if that shit tried to fly here, it wasn't going to fly. And you know how I know? It's because they pulled that racist shit in the UK and it ain't flying here now. That's the whole beef. That we don't give a shit if the racism happened across the pond. That just means it's going to take us longer to get there because we got to get across the water to handle the business. But the business will still be stood on. And that's the issue that they can't understand. Because it's not about you being British. It's about you coming from a lineage of cowards. Because guess what you said in the video? I'm going to be a coward in the United States of America too. Because I ain't fighting him either. So you a coward wherever you go. And so that is the issue that we're facing. That we have a bunch of cowards that try to dictate to the warriors the fights we need to have and not have, and who we should be targeting, and you don't fight that way, and that's not cool, and that's too harsh. If you a coward, stay in a coward's place.
And shut them.
Because if anybody was ever confused about what a system of white supremacy looks like and how it employs Afro tools to stand for them, look no further than this BAFTA situation. Every white European that you can find on Twitter or anywhere else online stood up for this white man with Tourette's and blamed the racism on his Tourette's. And then overnight, every Afro immigrant to any white country in Europe you could think of became Tourette experts overnight. And all of them magically had someone in their family with Tourette's that had melanin that does the same exact thing as this white man does. And so that's why it can't be racist. And this is how they willingly allow themselves to be used to push this agenda. Because, like the sister said, see, for them, and this is what we talk about here in the States too, and I'll end on this. When we talk about, and this is, again, you let them talk long enough, it's going to reveal everything. This is the reason why we're getting this pushback in New York and other places to the delineation. See, because when their numbers were small, like the sister said, our numbers are small. When they're small, they put their head in the sand. As soon as they feel like they're getting any modicum of power or their numbers start to increase, then they start running their mouth. Or they feel like they are under a hedge of protection, i.e. the white supremacists that were trying to chastise us about Tourette's, then they pop their ugly ass head out and want to talk spicy and talk like they about to bust a grape or bust a lump of foo-foo. They're not going to do shit unless they feel like they're protected. Then they're going to talk a lot of shit, but that's about it. And that's how they think. We can't make a move until we get enough numbers so that we can start to feel brave. You know who else does that? The white supremacists. They ain't never try to set it on any one of us in person or in our communities when it was just them. They had to wait for the mob to form up. They had to wait for the agents of the state to come around, the government to sponsor it. Then they got brave. Then they got bold because they knew they had a system of protection against the ass whooping that they knew was going to come by fucking around with us. But it's not until they get those numbers enough to offset the power that we just have naturally is when they start getting out their body. And just for the family, like I know I was going to say land there, but I'm landing here now. In addition to like what Sister Keisha said, see, I don't care about what you're telling me. I'm going to look at what I know. Because it's either you or that Tourette's that's racist. It's one of y'all. Because we're not getting away from that. Because if the N-word doesn't come out for everybody that gets on that stage, That means your brain, you or that Tourette's, is picking and choosing when to let that N-word fly, and magically those N-word ticks come out when the people that you think are N-words get on that stage. And last but not least, even if you're going to try to convince me that, well, you know what it does is it makes you say those things that you want to hide the most because you don't want to insult this person. Last time I checked, there's many ways to insult black people without calling them the N-word. You can curse us out. You can call us a bitch ass mother effer. You can call us a bloody bloke. You can call us whatever you want. But guess what you decided to call us? You and your Tourette's. So one of y'all is racist. And if y'all look at that movie, there's a scene in that movie. Again, they could have used any color paint they wanted. But he is painting his wall in the scene and has an episode of Tourette's and then uses that as a reason to paint his face in blackface in the movie. And I find it very funny that all those same white supremacists could say, just watch the movie and you'll understand why he doesn't need to apologize. So one movie will absolve this man of all the things that anybody could ever do to him, but the actual history that took place against foundational Black Americans ain't enough for y'all to hold the people that did it accountable? I'll land there.
Brother Ted,
how am I supposed to go after that?
You the OG.
Nah, I mean, Brother Divine summed it up beautifully. I mean, we got to stop explaining away and giving excuses. I'm glad Homegirl admitted it, but all she did was reiterate our sentiments. Like, we fight, we thump. Like I said, we pulled up in Flatbush. Like, what's good? What we doing?
What happened?
Like, it's deeper than this internet thing. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Of course, we got a beautiful, lovely, sophisticated audience. We even appreciate the trolls because all they do is prove our points, you know. But we really about that action, and Homegirl now sees this, you know. Homegirl said, "Yo, now they messing with the Black Americans, yeah, because we don't fight racism." But that's been our point. So I think she should take her grievance to Dr. Sukiana Umar Johnson, join the DAFA movement, with that descendants of African freed Africans, whatever his DAFA means.
African freedmen.
Yeah, my God. I'm just good on all of these people, man. I just appreciate the work that we're doing, agitating the consciousness of the people, you know, getting legislations passed, and I'm just tired of these people. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I'm proactive. I'm just tired of idiots, and I'm not engaging with idiots anymore because my hands got a mind of their own, and sometimes I can't keep them on the leash, you know. So I just stay away, you know. These hands sometimes they move before my mind could, and next thing you know, we had somebody precinct trying to figure it out. Like, all right, you got to send this. How we gonna get out? But I think that was a dope clip because none of these clips I've seen except the Haitian girl and Dr. Sukiana, you know. What DJ Big said, donation again, funds again. That sounds about right. Thank you for clearing that up for me.
That's it right there. Get them donations.
Yeah,
good one.
I'm just tired of all of these people, and I thank y'all, my co-hosts, my comrades on the panel, who's keeping people in a place. Thank you, Sister Marcia, for being the voice that we all, you know, like. One thing I like to say is that I don't really have beef with a lot of Black folks, only the ignorant ones. So if you're continental African, if you're Caribbean, if you're a Black Caribbean, if you understand our position and you can respect it, then we can rock. Mm-hmm. But when everybody come in like we not the shit, I got a problem with that. And I'm off my soapbox.
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna play this clip, and Sister Brooke will expound. Hold on.
Cool. As far as I'm Haitian.
You could just fast forward to the end because we seen they're gonna play the whole clip again.
What's your background? You American? Dirty black American?
Wait, what?
Because she goes into where her business is.
Black American? What?
No. Hold on.
You may not be able to.
Black American. Okay.
You heard that? You did not
No,
hear what I said.
it won't let me slide.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Why you say that?
Because that's what you are. Dirty black American.
But Rashi, by that disclaimer,
I did. A dirty black American.
but you also have to look at the Destiny Department.
Just chill out on that dirty black American comment.
I'm sorry. You really took offense to that.
Anybody would take offense to that.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't.
Why you said that? I'm saying, why would you even fix your lips and say that, bro? I'm confused.
Because that's just my experience. Like, it's my experience. So I'm gonna.
Her beauty studio is called the Beauty Bandit Beauty Studio. The Beauty Bandit Studio. It's located at 12 East 32nd Street on the second floor in New York, New York. The zip code is 10016. Her Instagram is Taz Woolley or just Metaz. So it's JUSTMETAZ, just Metaz. And the website is thebeautybandit.glossgenius.com. Okay. And then she also has another tag. It's called the Beauty Bandit. She's a brow artist. What else? Yeah, she has a Facebook. It's called the Beauty Bandit Studio as well. I'm trying to think what else would be helpful. If y'all have any ideas, just drop them. But let's watch some.
So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we knew where her business is at. But we can go back to.
We about to shut. We about to shut that down. Now. But
I'll go back to the British girl.
Yeah. Beans and toast. Go.
Well, can you play the rest of that video? The one from my page. Let's see if it'll go.
From your IG page or your X?
Yeah. Well, either one. The video that you just the one with her talking, because you know there's more at the end.
Right. All right. I'm gonna go to your X because I probably won't be able to fast forward
on the IG.
Yeah. All right. But set it up in the meantime while I pull it up.
Yeah. So, you know, when I saw this, first of all, this girl. Sorry, guys. Sorry, my family was WhatsApp calling me. Yeah, so this girl has talked crazy about us in the past. Oh, yes, she has. You know what I'm saying? Now, I couldn't find the tweets that I remember, but I was able to find one where she was talking about where she was caping for Bad Bunny, who's a descendant of Romans.
Come on.
Okay. So he's a descendant of Romans, and she's telling us
wearing dresses and all. Go ahead.
Right. And you right about that. I didn't even put that. That's you right. That makes a whole lot of sense. That's why he liked to wear them dresses and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he's a descendant of Romans, and she was caping for him and saying, you know, this is great and how we need to be on board when you play a little bit. So this is the problem. So you're sitting here, you're part of the problem. We're calling out, we're telling you we don't watch Bad Bunny, we don't like Bad Bunny, we don't understand Bad Bunny, right? But you're caping for him. So you're part of the problem that we have. When we're standing on business, you're lying on your back or on your knees, whichever one you like.
Oh. Let me know when you're ready to start playing.
Go ahead, press play, and then I'll go on after.
All right.
This is why I get so angry when y'all British Black people come over here and talk about how much opportunities there are in acting versus over there where you are. And y'all act like those opportunities were given to us and handed to us, not realizing how long and how much we had to stand on business to force those opportunities. And y'all don't do that over there. That's why you have to run over here to try to steal our birthright and what we have fought and worked for. This is why you don't have no opportunities. Go back across the pond and fight for your opportunities and stop stealing what other people fought for. And when you come over here, do you think you stand on business? No, you don't stand on business when you come over here. You take all kind of slave roles. You let them play you and have you play all types of stereotypes. You form and bend and get on your knees and do whatever them white directors tell you to do, no matter how it makes us look. And this is why we have a problem with that shit. Do you do like our ancestors? Do you help other people get in? Do you help other people get on? No, you don't. You hoard, and do only for yourself. And this is another reason why we have a problem. Please send those emails and help us delineate. You see? And this is why we delineate. Because y'all will allow people to play in your face and we don't. This is why it is different. This is why we are different. And so not only will we hold the BBC accountable, but we're going to hold your stinking ass accountable too. Don't come out your face talking shit about what you don't know. We will check you. We will check them. We will check Hispanics. We will check Asians. We will check anybody who has anything negative to say about what we have done, what we have built, what we have been through, and minimize it. We ain't playing with y'all. Send them emails and delineate. Thank you. bit.ly/BREUCK. Call to action. Thank you.
And you notice too that all of these British actors, who come over here and become successful in Hollywood, they always playing our icons and heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got none. You want to play King. You want to play Harriet. You want to play Malcolm. You want to play. Knock it off. Knock it off. And I remember an interview with Samuel L. Jackson, and he said the exact same thing. It's like I said before, no tact whatsoever. Problematic.
Not just no tact, but they sit there and talk about, it was an interview on Godfrey's new show with his, other Nigerian buddy. And they went on talking about, it was somebody else, some actor I don't even freaking know. Like he said, acting like he's an expert. He's like, yeah, when you watch the old black actors, they talk about how they got their skill from the theater. And I think that, American born black actors no longer regard the theater. But British actors, when we come over here, out of the theater. And that is why, we do well when we get to Hollywood. No, you do well when you get to Hollywood because you take less money. Because you take bullshit roles that we don't want to play. Or that we refuse to play. Because you will give no pushback when it comes to the stereotypes. Because black actors will be like, nah, that's not how it goes down in the hood. You know why? They know how it goes down in the hood because they grew up there. But you don't know. And how many videos have we seen where British actors talk about, oh, I have to act this way. I gotta act yo to get the part. Boris Cujo, one of the most famous, and I don't know personally, but I'm going to talk about as far as Hollywood, the most famous Hollywood tether, because nobody knew he was German and Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about when he came here, how he went to the club to find out how to talk like us. You might have went to the club to find out mannerisms, but you can't even hear in the club. That don't even make no sense. You know where you got it from? TV. Like every immigrant who doesn't speak English, that's what they say when they come here. They learn English from watching TV. How can you learn English from being in the club? That don't even make no sense. But see, you came here and you had to put on our skin and act like us for you to even get on. And like I said in that video, the part that pisses me off is this, like, because there's so much more opportunities here. Why? You never want to get into the why. Why there's opportunities here and none over there. You know why? Because you guys are too, what did she say? We're proper. Sensibilities. That's what she said. Our sensibilities. And them sensibilities, keeping to those sensibilities pushes your black ass out of any opportunity that you could ever have. And see, and that's the difference between us and you. And you sit there and you talk about how we don't have, we're always complaining about racism. Isn't this what they say?
Yep.
Oh, you're always complaining. You're always being a victim. You're always doing this. You're always doing that. Because we don't let shit slide over here.
Or anywhere else.
Right. Because we ain't letting it slide over there. Nor do we leave our comrades in battle. Because that's another reason. It was Michael B. Jordan, whom we all love. We are never going to leave Killmonger stranded on enemy ground.
Yeah.
Now when he fought and died for us against y'all. Okay? We are never going to leave Killmonger stranded, baby. He over there and he had to be polite. He has to be polite, not us.
That's right.
We'll do it for you. Keep your suit, look like a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? You was over there looking sharp. You know what I'm saying? Stay over there looking sharp. Do what you got to do. We got you, bro.
All day. All day.
We're going to make sure that they learn their lesson to never play with you again. And see, and I want people to realize, now this is twice that Killmonger been attacked. Because remember, it was the Caribbeans who attacked him the last time.
That's right. That's right.
When he tried to partner up with other Caribbeans. He that wasn't on his own. He don't know nothing about no Juve. He don't know nothing about that. That wasn't on his own. All he was doing was helping to fund it, put money into it, become a partner in it. He heard an idea. He thought it sounded good. He was like, oh yeah, I'll help you out with that. And they probably came to him with the business opportunity. Isn't that what they tell us Pan-Africanism is supposed to be about? Don't they tell us that, oh, you know what I'm saying? We could take, isn't that what Akon said? You take the American dollars and then we could make businesses together. Oh, but when Michael B. Jordan tried to make a business with you, you called him everything but a child of God. So much that he pulled out the business deal. all because it had a name that was that you felt belonged to your culture. We didn't leave him hanging then, and we ain't gonna leave him hanging now. So y'all keep attacking our boy.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna see we don't play about Michael B. Jordan. We don't play about him. And the crazy part is you ain't even stand up for your own. Because somebody else was on that stage who is a Black Brit. And all of y'all was sitting there caping for the freaking guy with the Tourette's and whatever. You didn't even have your own back. But don't worry, because he's respectful to our culture and to what we do. And we got his back. As long as he don't talk shit about us and come over here and talk about he's better, we got him. Because I hope he sees who have his back and who left him hanging in the land of his birth.
Trouble.
That's why they was like, oh, at the end of the thing, they asked him, oh, do you want to, we know that you were born here. Are there any Black British actors or directors that you want to work with? He kept it all the way real. He said, I don't know y'all. I don't want to talk. I don't know. No one knows what you're doing over there. Not even your own. But guess what? You know about Ryan Coolidge. You know about Michael B. Jordan.
That FBI.
You know about, right? You know about what's his name? Key Pill. Am I saying it right? The other director.
Close enough.
Thank you. No, Key and Pill. I'm talking about
Jordan,
the show.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele.
Ain't his name?
Boy, I'm turning into my mama. Yeah, Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know about them. You know about them too. We all know about what the hell y'all doing over there. You know why we don't know about what y'all doing? Because y'all don't stand on business.
No matter where we at, we stand on business. Even if it's dope, we stand on business.
Oh, Lord.
Our young brother Adonis.
Yeah.
Keep him in your prayers.
Yeah.
Keep him in your prayers. Whatever he got going on, support him. My brother here is a New York native who travels the world creating content. Right now, he's in Romania. And this Romanian dope fiend tried to disrespect him. Hold on.
I do know how this fucking cut. Back up. In my face. You bugging out. Back up.
Bing, bing. FBA style.
Call the police.
He beat his ass and then said call the police because the dope fiend spit on him.
Yep.
See what I'm talking about? We don't run. It's up. Now, if you look at these videos from these Africans with a Chinese in your country and beating the hell out you. Beating the hell out you. And you just stand there and let them do it. You're a coward. Where the white man will pull up to you on your job and beat the hell out of you. Spit in your face. And you don't do nothing. You ain't about that life. Everybody know who the real riders are. You're going to get this work no matter where we at. Ain't no sucker talk over here. Brother Divine, your thoughts on that clip with young Adonis?
So I want to go back in time, and I'm gonna come back to our brother Adonis. I want to go back a little bit to what Sister Brooke was talking about in regards to the Juve, right? Because there's some needed context on that I've recently found out. That I hadn't heard anything, and I had to look it up to make sure I was right before I say what I'm about to say. And I read that comment when he put that up. I think that's amazing, because I think that's kind of what I wanted to end on, because you put it there. I think it's important. It's the same thing I said with Brother Knowledge Born Allah. And we need to and have to break away from commingling our culture with the other melanated cultures that don't appreciate our culture. Like he just said, a rum based on the second line, that would be amazing. Same, not even, I wouldn't even say the same flavor, better flavor, right? Because we have to start taking our social capital, our social cachet and swagger, and rooting our products and things in our culture and things that are significant in our culture. And I'm saying that to say, because even when you look at the term Juve and their origins, it's from the French.
Yes.
Right? And at no point did they ever say, well, we got to break away from the French, or how can the French even be trying to co-opt our term and use it for them? And we talk about the joke of Pan-Africanism. Not a near Pan-African stood up and said, don't chastise our brother Michael B. Jordan for trying to make a rum named Juve. Because Juve represents the emancipation of slavery. Weren't we all emancipated at different times throughout history? But if we're talking about Pan-Africanism and it represents the emancipation of slavery, and Michael B. Jordan is a descendant of the enslaved, and according to Pan-Africanism, we're all just enslaved Africans wherever the boat dropped us off at, why didn't any of them stand up?
They don't even know that.
And to Sister Brooks' point, when she brought up one of his silent partners, that is true. This is something I didn't know about, but I found out recently that our brother Michael B. Jordan was working with someone. And that someone was Trinidadian. Born in Trinidad. Has a whole bar and business here in America. And that brother's name is Scott Robert Williams. But I got a question for Scotty. Where were you when they was attacking Michael B. Jordan for cultural appropriation? Ain't you Trinidadian? Weren't you born in Trinidad? Where were you to stand up for your potential business partner and say, no, this is not cultural appropriation. We're working together on this to pay homage to my culture and our culture. And we're sharing it together because we're all melanated people across the globe. Where were you?
Say a word.
And I
left
want to
our
say,
boy hanging.
That's right. Left him hanging as usual, leaving an ally, a fellow soldier on the battlefield, like our sister Brooke said. And I want to read something else before we get to Brother Adonis. It was something I shared with Sister Brooke because I remembered it. It was just full transparency. I'm not saying I'm a poet or anything like that, but I have put some poems together. And one thing we were talking about led me to one that I wrote in 2021. And it reminded me of something that our sister Cicely Tyson, who was an ally, said about the same thing that Sister Keisha was talking about when we talk about the roles and how they don't fight for them and come over here and feel entitled to them. Just before she passed in 2021, she did an interview. And in that interview, one of the questions was, you've been in the entertainment business for more than 60 years. what's the biggest change you've seen? And our sister, ally Cicely Tyson, said, there has been an attempt at being more lenient to blacks. Let me correct that a little. They are hiring blacks, but they are hiring black actors from Africa. And the question has been, what's the difference? He's black. But he's black African as opposed to black American. They're taking away our jobs. The interviewer then asks, are there examples you're thinking of? Cicely Tyson answers, if you take a look at the scene and the black actors whose careers have come to fruition in the last few years, you will see that most of the black male actors have been from Africa. Black males have been quite upset about it. Do you follow? The interviewer says, I follow. I'm not sure I agree, but I follow. You know, they got a soft shoe. And she just laughs it off and says, yeah, they're going to kill me for that one. And the question's going another direction. This is something that is one of the worst kept secrets in Hollywood. And now my question, like I questioned the Pan-Africans and our Trinidadian brother Scott that left Michael B. Jordan hanging, is where are the foundational black American actors to bring light to this? What are you afraid of? We're not cowards. That has never been our way. Where are you? Samuel Jackson spoke about it on that interview. I think it was either Hot 97 or Breakfast Club. And then y'all left him hanging. This is not our culture. This is not our way. We don't leave anybody hanging or dying on the battlefield. Where are you to stand up, if not for the roles that you will never get, for the roles that they will write our foundational black American up and coming actors out of if you don't speak up now with your cachet? And to bring it full circle, the same way we don't leave anybody on the battlefield, we're definitely not leaving our brother Adonis out there on the battlefield, wherever that battlefield might be. He is overseas right now, and there are people that are in constant contact with the local officials there, are bringing awareness online like our sister Keisha's doing right now, because we are not going to leave him hanging and allow them to lynch him in any sense of the word. Literally, digitally, legally, judicially, anyway. We're not letting it happen, because that is not our way. And so I thank you for even bringing that to the attention of the viewers here tonight. Definitely, keep that brother lifted up, and let's find ways to continue to keep that story known, because already, as he was saying on a live when he was speaking with Tariq Nasheed, he was letting it be known that the media there is trying to spin the narrative and take away his just cause for self-defense based on that crackhead looking that person attacking him and accosting him while he was live on video. And thank God for the video.
Amen to that.
Because we don't even have to say God only knows. No, we know, and God knows the lies and the narratives that get spun when there is no video, and the system takes up arms and actions against you, like they're doing our brother Adonis.
Definitely, we holding our brother down. Because I want to move into this destiny swapping. But like I said, I was on a live, I think Monday or Tuesday evening. No, Sunday to be exact. It was Sunday. During when the snow was coming down. So the South African dude gets up and he talks about, Black Americans never did nothing for South Africa. And
talking to the wrong one.
I'm like, excuse me? So when I got up, I'm like, first of all, if it wasn't for the Black Student Union here in the States, apartheid would still be flourishing. Because we were the ones who put pressure on businesses to divest. Even our actors made sure that it was highlighted in various shows, whether it was the Cosby Show or a different world. It was highlighted overhead. Russ, I'm gonna take it back a little bit further. Take you back a little bit further. So I invite him to come and watch tonight. Let's go a little bit further, shall we? To the great Booker T. Washington. Now, Booker T. Washington helped a lot of people. So I want people to understand. Let me move this up some. Helped a lot of folks, okay? Let's deal with South Africa. Booker T. Washington in South Africa, a transatlantic strategy of Black industrial education as political infrastructure. The Tuskegee model, industrial and vocational training, economic self-reliance, land ownership, and institution building. In 1897, John Dubé visits Tuskegee. John Dubé is from South Africa. Studied at Washington's administrative structure, examined educational framework, received direct mentorship. John Dubé was a South African essayist, philosopher, educator, politician, publisher, editor, novelist, and poet. He was the founding president, of the South African Native National Congress, which later became the African National Congress in 1923. He was an uncle to Dr. Sime, with whom he founded the SANNC. Dubé served as the president between 1912 and 1917. He was brought to America by returning missionaries to attend Abilene Preparatory Academy. He returned to South Africa, where in 1901, he and his first wife, Mrs. Dubé, don't get me to say the first one, started Orange High School, based on the Tuskegee Institute founded by Booker T. In 1903, Dubé founded the Zulu newspaper, Elang Now, Elang and Natal. I hope I'm saying it right. John Dubé published Shakabadi Servant. He died in 1946. The Olang Institute founded, modeled after Tuskegee, the industrial and agricultural training, printing press, and self-help philosophy. Key connections between Dubé and Washington included mentorship and inspiration. Dubé was heavily influenced by reading Washington's autobiography, Up From Slavery. Education model. Dubé's Olang Institute was directly modeled after Washington's Tuskegee Institute, focusing on industrial and agricultural training for Black South Africans. Ideologically, both leaders promoted self-reliance, technical education, and economic independence as essential for gaining dignity and respect. Personal meeting, Dubé met Washington in the U.S. in 1897 to study his methods. 1912, Dubé becomes the first president of the ANC, education, organization, political structure. Dubé was the first president of the ANC and was deeply influenced by Booker T. Washington's philosophy in industrial education, self-reliance, racial uplift. Visiting him in 1897, Dubé adopted Washington's Hampton Tuskegee model to found the Olang Institute in South Africa in 1901, often being called the Booker T. Washington of South Africa. Strategic context: Jim Crow and segregation in the U.S., colonial racial hierarchy in South Africa. Economic development as leverage. Jim Crow to colonialism. Both leaders operated within oppressive systems. Washington and Jim Crow in the Jim Crow South, and Dube under the rigid colonial racial hierarchy of South Africa, using industrial education to create a base of economic power. So again, Booker T. Washington, okay? There wouldn't be no ANC without Booker T. Again, back in 1897, they came here to study under us. Let's be clear. And even when you talk about Marcus Garvey, for example, let's talk about Marcus Garvey because, you know, he was here for a while. Okay? Now, he could have applied for citizenship in Africa. Okay? But the appeal was for him. The appeal was for him. Okay? His declaration of intention. Come on. Here's his application. Here's his application to stay here. Meanwhile, people got you looking over there. Looking over there. All right? Resided, well, you know, he lived on 129th Street. His first wife, Amy, lived in Beacon, New York. That's where George Soros live at now. In Beacon, New York. Just a little side piece there, education. But I just wanted y'all to see, you know, we've always influenced the diaspora. Heavily, okay? And I remember in Pan-African spaces where people will refer to Booker T as a sellout. As a sellout. So I said, oh yeah? Let me start digging. Let me educate myself a little bit more here. This man had power and influence over so many. But how could you love Garvey but hate Booker T?
Girl, that's the part.
It don't match up here. It don't match up. How could you love South Africa but you hate Booker T? Come on, knock it off. Knock it off. And that's why I'm saying they have such disdain for U.S. Political structure that they throw us under the bus too. And like Devon said, you know, this is how things operate within those movements. But you see, I'm nosy, you know, Sister Pat said inquisitive. Okay, I'll take that. I'm going to dig deeper. Your thoughts, anybody on the panel who knew of Booker T's influence on the first president of the ANC?
Well, I didn't know about that, but I will talk about that concept, right? Because that's something that is very prevalent in a lot of the up and coming Pan-Africans. Because similarly to that concept of, oh, we don't got to worry about racism because the old racists are going to die off. There are some new up and coming Pan-Africanists, right? It's not many, but they're still around, right? And they're still coming. And so even though these old N-words are going to die off in the words of the new black media, there are some on the rise, right? And so that's why I'm making it my business to fully define the difference in these terms. Because, like I said, one of the things that they've done is masterfully taken the colloquialisms and the slang of foundational Black Americans, and then they push it through that international Pan-African lens. And before you know it, a raccoon is somebody that is against immigration. And is somebody that speaks out against those African tribes that sold us. And it's like, wait a minute. Wait, how we get here? Last time I checked, a raccoon was somebody that was selling us out. That's a Jesse Lee Peterson. You understand what I'm saying? That's a Larry Elder. How did I become a raccoon? Because I said I ain't never get down with them African tribes that sold us or their descendants that come and undermine us as well. And so that's why you get the new terminology of a tether. Because before, that would just be another raccoon. And it's like, no, you guys need to hold yourselves accountable and create terms for those that sell you out. What's the term for all those people in the government that sell you out constantly and make you have to flee? What's the Nigerian term for that? What's the Haitian term for that?
President.
What's the Jamaican term for that, right? And
Prime
this is
Minister.
what we're talking about. But they all got a negative term for foundational Black Americans, whether they immigrate here or not. So this is kind of one of the things that this is done. And so with the Booker T, it took me looking up the Niagara movement. It was a documentary on the Niagara movement because I knew that the NAACP had come in and essentially colonized what the Negro Niagara movement was doing, right? And that's why you get it inepted today, because it was designed to be that way. And there was friction between that group and Booker T. But in that documentary, it talked about the reasons why, right? If you listen to Pan-Africanists and those that have socialized our political discourse and reality for so long, you automatically throw away Booker T as a sellout, right? You automatically throw out W.E.B. Du Bois as a sellout, even A. Philip Randolph as a sellout, because they're the ones that was championing the Garvey Must Go movement. But it's not until you get nosy, like you said, and inquisitive, and you start to see what those movements was based on and how that data is very real and still relevant and prevalent today. And you start to see, like I said, like I saw in that documentary, that they didn't have beef because Booker T was a sellout and those in the Niagara movement were trying to do something that Booker T was not. Booker T was just on some, you know how long I've been doing this? And you're going to come and try to check me on how to do it right? There needs to be some level of discourse we can have, but you're not going to come to me and tell me how to do this. And I'm getting institutions built and things that I'm doing all over the South. And it took me seeing that to say, oh, damn, like there's something more to this Booker T than what we've been told. And there's always been like an urban legend, an urban myth going around that, yes, he did speak in a way in which the white supremacists liked. It was palatable based on what he was saying. But from, just like I said, just floating around in the ether through the grapevine is that Booker T took a lot of that white capital and funded a lot of the radical Black movements that he couldn't do in that position, but was never like, I'm against it. He was finessing these white folks to a certain degree. And I think
you sat by the door.
Right. And that's kind of shaped me in the way in which I advocate understanding that all of us can't move the same way. And we're not supposed to move the same way because we're each needed moving in our own direction to push our lineage and our ethnic group forward. And as long as all of us are doing that, there's no need to argue in any grand fashion about the ways in which you're pushing it forward. We can have our little discussions here and there. And I think that's one of the things I'm seeing in this Foundation Black American Renaissance, where even when there are disagreements that we might have as a family, most of them are getting solved very quickly and very hastily on, okay, I get it, I understand what you're saying, but you're doing this, all right, cool. I may not agree with everything that you're doing, but I do see that you're doing it to move it forward. Whereas before, as we've seen, those that come in with a different ideology took his actions and framed them in that such a way, because not because it didn't help foundational Black Americans, it's because it didn't serve the Afro immigrants that ideology serves to be relevant in foundational Black American society.
Absolutely. And I would encourage people to just do a little bit more research on Booker T. Washington. And Sister Marcia put in our private chat. He helped a lot of folks that you or some of you look up to. Didn't know he was rocking behind the scenes, because you got to bring things full circle. Because now you got Africa trying to steal our reparations, i.e. Ghana. I'll play this clip that Sister Brooke made, and then we'll come right back.
The unmitigated goal of these freaking people to actually think that they're going to get reparations to restore the shrine to how they sold our ancestors, to them profiting, or you got paid already. You are co-conspirators in human trafficking, and now you want to sit here and ask for money to restore the building in which you held the people you trafficked, the people you did voodoo on, to make sure that their very souls could not take revenge and remember where they came from. And then you got these people are the devil. That's it. That's it. You have got to be a slimy to sit there and think that with you all and grab your and think that you the gall. These people are the worst. There's nothing else that you can say. And this is why we must delineate. Send them emails so that we can delineate on paper from these people. bit.ly/BREUCK call to actions. Y'all sat there, you sold your mamas, your sisters, your brothers, your cousins, your teachers, your doctors, your lawyers, your farmers, your everything. You sold them. Your own free will. You went, and then when you didn't have enough sisters and uncles and stuff to sell, then you went next door to other neighboring villages and stole their sisters and mothers and cousins and brothers. When the white folks wanted to end slavery, you wanted to continue. And now you think you should get $100 million if you don't sit your slave selling ass down. And it's okay, because we gonna sit you down. If you don't sit down, we gonna sit you down, because we are not the ones. You will not get paid off us twice. Send them emails.
Send them emails. This is diabolical. Ghana eyes US $100 million to restore slave era forts through reparations push. Yet it's the same Africans who show up at our reparations hearing and say we don't deserve it. We should move past and worry about what's going on now. But again, you don't have no Pan-African spaces dealing with this issue. Even when we pulled up in Flatbush, don't fucking say, yeah, we're going to come and support y'all. Now, I wear glasses and I can't see without them. I'm going to tell you that right now. I ain't never seen none of them pull up yet. And Sister Brooke and Brother Devon can see better than me. So if they was there, they would have told me. Thank you for doing this video, Sister Brooke, because it seems like these things are flying by everybody and nobody's paying attention. Or maybe they are and just don't care. But I see something greater than that. This is all a part of the destiny swap that's going on. These people are trying to steal our birthright, as you said, and our identity without lifting a finger for any of us. Brother Divine, your thoughts on Brooke's video?
So many times, and this is not nothing too personal, so hopefully she don't get mad at me, but me and Sister Brooke, we have many conversations on her face looking perplexed right now. But I always get on her and be like, why are you always so angry? Why are you always ready to scrap? Like, why are you always so angry? Right? Even in the video she just angry. And it's like when you start to, when you hear something like this, it just lets me know that at times I'm not angry enough. And this is one of those times. Like, you know, I don't know if y'all remember, but well, not I say remember, but a lot of times I know us growing up, especially with the movie Roots and you know, the other movies and stuff, especially as we growing up, and you know, not saying that we ever lose that rebellious spirit, because everybody on this panel is with the shits no matter what age we at right now. But you know, when you got that young and dumb spirit in you, when you see some of those stuff, I remember hearing it in class after like a movie event goes down, or we might have saw something new in the movies, or Do the Right Thing, right? We would get together, we'd be like, yo, I feel like going out. And again, this is past the statute of limitations. So we would talk amongst ourselves. We were like, damn, you so Do the Right Thing. You see what they did to Radio Raheem? Y'all feel like just going out and finding any white person I could see and slap the shit out them, right? Like you get that in your spirit, because that's just what it makes you feel when that happens. And when you see stuff like this, it's like, yo, don't let me catch a Ghanaian out in these streets. Like, don't let me see one of them slacking on their pimping, because when I see them, the time for talk is long over. Because again, whether you are one of these Ghanaians engaging in this behavior, or you know about it and you silent, you are still complicit. And that is at least mine, I mean, I speak for anybody else, my biggest issue with the good, quote unquote, diasporans. The same way we talk about the quote unquote good white peoples. It's like, where are you when the bad ones amongst you get on their bullshit? Where are you? Or do you silently agree and you just trying to wait for the smoke to clear so you can pick up all the ill-gotten gains that their actions will produce? And I believe that is what's happening with a lot of the Ghanaians around this issue. And when Sister Brooke first shared this story with me, I didn't see the video when she first put it up. I did see it before tonight. I'm glad to watch it again. I did some research, and I love these topics and how we're learning from each other, because you know, there's certain things in history that's happened, but you kind of, you know, there's a lot of things that I don't know. I know stuff, but there's a lot I don't know. And only a fool knows everything. And so I looked up the Elmina Castle. And to my knowledge, I was like, wait, I do know that, at least from my light research, that Africans were never enslaved on the continent by the European powers, right? Like that didn't happen, not to my knowledge. And so when I saw that where and how the Elmina Castle was at, and now they needed money to fix it up, I'm like, well, who the hell built this shit? Like, who built the castle? If it wasn't enslaved Africans that built this castle, who the hell built it? And it was the Portuguese in partnership with the Ghanaians at the time. That was it. It was in Ghana. It was with the Akans and what's now known as Benin. They built that shit together. Like, it wasn't, man, they built it together. Before I get and channel my inner Brooke, they built it together. I'm gonna try to get back calm. They built the goddamn castle together. And then as I was continuing to read, I learned about something new that I didn't know about. I knew about the slave trade. But when I was reading it, they talked about the Portuguese gold trade. And I said, gold trade? How's that even a thing? Like gold, like what the fuck? What do you trade for gold? Gold? Like, what's the gold trade? Like, do you trade gold for more gold? Like, it didn't make sense. And it didn't make sense because these people have never made sense. They didn't make sense then, and they damn sure don't make sense now. For those that don't know or is ignorant like me, the gold trade during that same time that they built that fort was the Portuguese bringing in anything but gold in exchange for African gold. So the same people that try to dictate to us what we need to be doing and how we need to be fighting and who we really are. We really just you. Listen, I ain't you. I could never be you. Let me tell you something. God takes care of babies and fools. And I ain't been a baby in a long time, and I damn sure ain't never been a fool like you a fool. I don't know why God was taking care of me, because I ain't either one. And they were trading brass and textiles and fabrics for gold.
And liquor.
And rum for gold. To the point where it's estimated that during that time, 24,000 ounces of gold left the Gold Coast, which at that time represented about a tenth of all the gold in the world. And then they let the Portuguese, who were the minority then, still, like they're the minority now and still own and run you, the same people, that same chief, Kwamina Ansa, that made that bad deal, they then told him, you can't trade. You got the gold, but you can't trade with no other tribe in your homeland. And they used other tribes to enforce that ban on that tribe. The same tribalism that they still practice today. And they want to tell us they black like us when y'all ain't never had a universal black or African identity by which y'all unified under. And at no point in your entire history did you say, damn, you know what? These white folks is coming here and playing both sides against the middle. They got you policing me. They got me policing you. And they getting all the gold. Maybe we should just work together and get them up out of here. We could take over the castle and we could own the whole shit if we really want to. They never did that. In fact, they have never done that to this day. And this is why you get the pushback that we're seeing in all the rooms on TikTok and on Twitter when people are saying, oh no, Black Americans are the only Black people. Now, we understand what racially Black means. And so let me speak for myself on this, because this is a stance that I take that some even in the movement disagree with. But I want to say my personal stance, not even for the organization, just me personally. I am of the position that Black Americans are the only Black people on the planet. Because Black is a universal identity that transcends all regional and tribal differences. We are the only group that throughout all of our regional ethnicities or differences in culture, because we're all family throughout these entire regions in the United States of America, we're still just one Black identity. Whereas on the continent of Africa, you got whole tribes, you got whole countries with hundreds, if not thousands of small insular tribes in one country that have never said, you know what, let's just drop all these other ethnicities and tribes and just be one people. But they believe that they can come here and dictate to us how to fight, how to unify, and it needs to be under the banner of African when Africans ain't never considered themselves one universal African. Even when the enemy was as blatant as the enemy was. Like, let me tell you something. We got double agents. We know how this COINTEL system works. But in the day of colonialism, during that castle, and even today, if you can't see that the enemy is the enemy and they don't look shit like you, and that you need to partner with somebody that does look like you, because the people that don't look like you is running and controlling everything. If you can't do that when the enemy is that clear and that present, you can't say shit to me about who I need to be looking at, fighting, or calling the enemy, or picking and choosing, because we are the only group that have ever said, you know what? Yeah, you are multiple. You're various African tribes. You're various indigenous tribes. You got some European in you. But you know what? Because they coming down on all of us, we need to just come together and be black. And let's oppose white because of what they're doing to us. We are the ones that have done that the best. And now what we're saying is that same black identity, because y'all come here and still try to latch on by using racial trickery language, race that is a tool of white supremacy. We're now saying, yeah, that identity is called foundational Black American. So now, even if you want to try to say that you're racially black, you ain't this. And we ain't that. Because we got to close ranks because y'all have never, never, never created a universal identity which to advocate under and get resources for your people from the people that have always stolen and misused and exploited your resources. You ain't got shit to say to us. We black, you not.
And there you have it, family. And they know it. They know it. You know, they know it well.
I am Jamaican, and this message is only for the Black Americans. Black Americans, when I tell you I admire everything about you guys, Black Americans, when I tell you every time I see someone and they say they're a Black American, I just be staring at you guys and I admire you guys so much because you guys been through a lot. Happy Black History Month. Thank you, because to this day you're still fighting, and when you're fighting universal. Thank you, Black Americans. I personally want to tell you a big thank you for all that you do, all that you're still doing, all that you... Black Americans, I just want to tell you, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Now get your tribe in order. Get your tribe in order.
That's it. Big up yourself.
There you go. Enough with it, because you haven't done anything. People are getting tired of it. People are getting real tired of it.
So it seems to me like y'all need a reality check for real. I wasn't going to say nothing. Y'all know I said that. I said I wasn't going to say nothing. I wasn't going to say nothing. I was going to let it go. I was going to be in peace today. Okay? For the rest of the day. But no. No, it's still some Delulu folk out here. It's still some delusional folk out here. So I guess we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Okay? So here's what I'm not understanding. I did have some Haitian folk come in my comments, right? And y'all want to talk about how y'all the first republic, y'all an empire, y'all this, y'all that, and y'all want to talk about how Black Americans don't have no power in our country and all this stuff about Black Americans on the political front, right? All right, so let me ask y'all this. Why y'all ain't got no power in y'all country to get them gangs out the way so y'all can go home? Why are y'all the first empire, but y'all don't live in the empire? How y'all the first republic, but y'all done abandoned the republic? Y'all don't live in the fucking republic. Right? Right? Y'all powerful. Y'all got y'all shit together. Why y'all sitting in our country talking to us, popping shit to us? Why y'all can't just get on the plane and go home? Because what I remember happening is a few short months ago when Trump was talking about canceling that TPS, right? That protected status. Y'all was running around here freaking out and asking where fucking Black Americans and asking the white folk to go and fucking march and protest for y'all and shit. And another thing that doesn't make any sense to me, right? Y'all somehow convince yourselves that Black Americans just have it so terrible, right? We just going through a whole lot over here. But we literally don't flee anywhere. Show me where you see Black Americans getting on a fucking boat, so desperate, on a boat, on a raft, okay, hopping and rowing from country to fucking country to fucking country, hoping that one of them will let us stay. Show me where you see us doing that at. Show me where. Show me where y'all see us pulling up on somebody's shore and running as fast as we can to be able to sneak into their fucking country. Show me where y'all seen that at. Show me where y'all seen that at. Show me where y'all see us participating in some motherfucking lottery draft to get drafted in somebody else's fucking country. Show me where you done seen that at. Show me where. Show me where y'all done seen this at. I'd love to see it. See, the problem.
It's not happening. It's not happening. It don't exist. Meanwhile, slavery is still going strong on the continent where they try to get you to go to. They bringing them here and enslaving them. Okay? Y'all go to these hair braiding places. Sister Brooke always talk about these hair braiding places. And how you don't let them touch your hair. And this, that, and the third. Let's play this.
Symptoms of something hard to believe. Something you might never expect. Something that happened in plain sight. You are looking at girls who were held as slaves in America, not for a week or a month, but for years.
Can you tell us about what it was like having someone else control all of your movements, everything you did?
It was like being trapped, being in a cage. It's horrible. Like sometimes it's not enough food for us to eat. No freedom at all.
Nicole and Zena and another 20 girls like them were brought to the U.S. from their homes in the West African nations of Ghana and Togo nearly a decade ago. Barely teens, promised an American education. They were instead enslaved in Newark, New Jersey.
What did the traffickers take from you?
They took my childhood from me, my teenhood. They took it from me. They took my trust from me, and they took everything. They took everything away from me.
The girls were forced to work in hair braiding salons, serving customers all day, right out in the open. Their captors took all the money the girls earned, every penny.
How many days a week were you working?
7 days a week.
How many hours a day?
Sometimes 14 hours.
This went on for 5 to 6 years. Traffickers held the girls in several houses in Newark and East Orange. The traffickers no longer live there.
This is the neighborhood where these girls were being held, and just look at it. Manicured lawns, nice houses. It looks like any neighborhood in America, and it definitely doesn't look like a place where you'd expect to find slavery.
Who would commit such a crime? These are the traffickers. Akawavi Afolabi, the wife, was the ringleader. Lasisi, the husband, and Derek, the son, were accomplices, according to court documents and law enforcement. Why did they do it? Money. Pure and simple. They made about $4 million off the girls. Paul Fish were victims of something
still going on, but y'all want to hightail yourselves over there. You don't think it won't happen to you or yours? You gotta be kidding me, right? This is diabolical. They still trafficking. You wonder why trafficking is going up in the U.S.? Look at the vast amount of migrants that have come over. They found, I think it was in Texas. I forget what city in Texas, but they found 2 Nigerians driving a truck with 46 children in the back. Here in New York, you just had a major snowstorm in the city. And in Manhattan, police on patrol, and these teenagers start throwing, or young people start throwing snowballs at the police. All children of immigrants. And they started to release some of the names today. I knew I was right. All children of immigrants, I could tell from the neighborhood. And I know y'all don't believe it. We could tell the difference. How you look. I knew who they were. So when all of these things are on a rise, and you hear the president talk about it, and you got people like Ilhan Omar saying goofy stuff about the president as if she ain't looting money. Her and her husband with a business with no address, but she raked in over $30 million. How that happened? AOC, who received donations and partnered with the Colombian government. Ilhan Omar is fighting for Somali in Somaliland. That's what she said. I didn't say that. That's what she said. Read the book Invisible Coup and see what's happening here. See what's happening. And you still got Somali trying to take our reparations. Here we go.
Criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice for those who lost their lives defending the community.
What community? What you talking about? You can always go back to Somali. Go there. But you don't want to go there because there ain't no health care there. You can't get free health care there. You can't get food stamps. You can't get Section 8. You can't get public assistance. You can't get jobs, small business loans. So they got loans for fake businesses, like fake daycares and things of that nature. But you don't see the Pan-Africans talking about this, though. It's like absolve Africa of anything. There is no wrongdoing. Absolve them of everything. So, we've come to the end of our program. Next week, we're going to dive more into fraud from the Africans, the Latinos, the Caribbeans, and the Jewish folks. We're going to get into it next week. Because they trying to raise my property tax. You know, they already raised water. I looked at my water bill. I'm like, what the? What? Look at Marcia. She about to strangle something. It's outrageous. And again, y'all don't want to hear this, but you're gonna. I blame all of you voters who keep putting these idiots in office based off of feeling. Based off of feeling. Brother Black, your final thoughts and commentary.
Another great show. Thank you, guys. We just got to keep going the way we going and keeping the foot on the gas, because it's definitely apparent that when you look behind the scenes, things look good for all of us. I saw on the It's Jimmy show today. I had the link up, but I don't have it up now. I'll send it to y'all in your inboxes on Facebook. On the It's Jimmy show, it seems like Trump is going to send some money. I don't know if it's a Social Security fund or Doji check or whatever, or the money he's getting from the tariffs, but that should be the way that I saw the video clip right before the show, so I didn't absorb it because it was about 10 minutes long and I wanted to be here and be present. So I only see positivity coming. I always tell y'all, if you doing the right thing, you're gonna get the right results. So everybody here is doing what I see their purpose in life, and I wish for you to continue doing so and being prosperous while doing it and make time flourish. So with that said, I'm not going to be long. Whoever Sister Keisha want to pass it to next, I see y'all next week on the bridge. Much love. Always a pleasure to serve y'all and always a pleasure to be served. Peace, y'all. One love.
Peace.
I'm going to hit it up next because I usually follow up Black.
Yeah.
So today was a whirlwind. There was a lot of information going on. And again, once you see people who are disconnected from reality, you must just kick them out the box. Don't entertain them. Don't follow through with them. Don't ask them multiple questions because number one, they're going to dig themselves in a hole. But number two, you're going to lower your vibration trying to lift them up. We don't have time to be lifting scrawny people up. So that's one. Two, on Haiti receiving or gaining and fighting for their independence and their emancipation, note that there's only two sets of people that fought for their independence and emancipation. And that is the Black Americans and Haiti. And everyone else was given a gift in 1828 or 34. I can't remember the year off the top of my head, but they were given a gift by their enslavers. Those who fought understand the fight always continues. We sometimes think that, oh, we won the fight, now we can sit down. And so when people talk about the gangs in the IET right now, for right about now, as I'm reanalyzing things, I'm kind of happy for the gangs because they're not allowing those European dominant controlling people who want to buy land and do this. They can't do that right now. They may try to underhand and buy something and but they can't work that land. They can't do anything with it. So for me, I'm looking at it from a different standpoint, and this just may be a good thing where people are fighting and people who want to remain on the land and cultivate the land are doing just that. And they are feeding their people, because look what's happening to Cuba. Look what's happening around the world. Look at the global water crisis that's happening around the world. There's a lot of things happening, and we have to fight everywhere we stand. And we have to fight with people who are like-minded and want to see our people, our race, elevate like Booker T. Washington, because that's what he did. He sent people everywhere to elevate us. Now, whether we do it to the righteous way or we get exploited, that's a whole different story. But needless to say, I don't like that Black took make time flourish away from me. That is not your statement. The same way Black tap not your statement. Neither is this, my friend.
Get him.
With all of that said, with peace, love, and harmony, let's remember Ma'at. Let's remain in truth. Let's move forward with truth and order. Let's get our homes in order, like Sister Keisha says all the time. And you know where your first home starts? With yourself. Get yourself in order. This is what matters first. And brothers and sisters, make time flourish. And if you fight with it so that it may, and you can settle and start living a soft life, because we all deserve grace and peace. With all of that, have a great week. See y'all next week. I love y'all all. Sister Keisha, thank you. Brother Divine, Brooke, Tad, Black, I love y'all all.
We love you too.
I don't know who's going next. Sister Keisha.
Brother Divine.
Absolutely. I think I'm glad you put me right after Sister Marcia, because I think this is also something I was speaking. I think I was speaking with Sister Brooke about this this week. When we were talking about, the woman that came onto that show and, said what she said to them brothers, and they gave her so much runway. I think at least for me, these are my personal feelings. We already know that there's going to be heavy disrespect that comes from diaspora. Intentional and unintentional, we are doing this disaggregation and delineation. I believe it's mostly because they know that they've delineated from us first and foremost, because it was out of hatred and jealousy and whatever other disdain they have for us, where ours is not. It's about us getting our political and social house in order, because our identity is being attacked by the white supremacists and co-opted and cosplayed by the Afro-immigrants that are coming in, whether they tools of white supremacy or not. But I'm saying all that to say two things. I'll say two things about Haiti before I get into my final thoughts. For me, I think that's why, for myself, based on what Sister Marcia said, that's why for me the disrespect from Haitians is different than anybody else in the diaspora, because of that similarity in what we knew it was going to take for us to be emancipated and earn emancipation and force our respective countries to recognize that emancipation. When it comes from them, coupled with the treatment that those in the Caribbean treat the Haitians with as well, whether in their own country or when they go to their countries. I don't know why that hatred of vitriol comes from Haiti toward us in that way. So that's why for me it hits different for, just for me, because of that similarity that I see that she so eloquently explained. The other thing I will say is this, and this is not a slight, but this goes toward my comments about Black and how I used it and what my personal position is. Because a lot of Haitians in their vitriol for us and the disdain when they're saying the things they're saying and still siding with the diaspora regardless of how they get treated in the diaspora, they will say that they are the progenitors and they are the inventors of Black because they were the first Black nation. And to that, I would love to direct the family to find out and to, if you don't know, but remind those that do know and educate those that don't know, is that when Dessalines created that Constitution and said that this is the first Black nation, there were white people that Dessalines made Black. And so, again, no slight to Dessalines because he did what he felt he was supposed to do. He was honoring those Polish soldiers that defected from France and helped them win their freedom from France. But I would just like to say that you could not have created Black if you made white people Black too. So I want to say that and put that out there that way. And now this gets me to what I missed in the beginning when y'all was talking about the DA5. And just as a shameless plug, on my TikTok, I made a video about Dr. Umar and his DA5 movement, just debunking the small claims that he did. Is real short because I didn't want to go too long. But I do want to point out the pattern that we all have to be aware of. And I'm glad that Sister Keisha played that clip from somebody on TikTok that was talking about and debunked his point about who started the reparations movement in the United States of America for those of us that were enslaved and emancipated in the U.S. That was started by our sister Callie House and Isaiah Dickerson. Those are foundational Black Americans. And the pattern that I have seen in this work and in this space is that every time we understand about the white lash, right? That they talk about. When there's progress being made by us, then the whites will kind of have a backlash. Here's what I've also seen though. Every time there's progress being made for our ethnic group, Pan-Africanism shows up. Like somebody said its name 5 times. When Callie House did her movement in 1897 and the government hit her with those fraudulent claims of mail fraud, in 1920, here comes Marcus Garvey, capitalizing on all those rightfully so disgruntled Black Americans that at the height of that movement with Callie House was in the hundreds of thousands. Estimates have it at 400,000. So when somebody says, who's the greatest foundational Black American organizers that we have ever had, you cannot have a top 3 or a top 2 without talking about invoking Callie House and Isaiah Dickerson. Because right after emancipation, they organized the formerly enslaved to give dues so they could bring that case, standing on our citizenship, to the federal government on those taxes that they took and put on the cotton that we picked. And they were fighting for our elders to get a pension first because of their age at the time. So you got Callie House. Here comes Marcus Garvey. You have Dr. King talking about we're going to Washington to get our check. In comes Stokely Carmichael, taking the identity of Black and giving it to the entire diaspora, even falsely claiming that he created the idea of Black power, even though it existed long before he did. Again, having us focus on an international Pan-African lens instead of pushing for what Dr. King was pushing for and was ultimately killed for. Then you have Queen Mother Moore, who's also a staunch Pan-Africanist. Nothing wrong with that. As I've said on this panel before, she had two different organizations, one fighting for diaspora, the other fighting for the descendants of the formerly enslaved. She's pushing that. She has a pamphlet and everything. In comes Narcan and Cobra to take Pan-Africanism to what it is today, where Dr. Ron Daniels is on record saying that today's Black immigrant is tomorrow's African American. In fact, in 2017, when John Conyers resigns, as he's trying to push H.R. 40, a flawed bill, but at the time, using the language that he did at the time, that was a lineage-based bill. Because when he created that bill and was pushing it in the 80s, African American just meant us. What happens when he resigns? Sheila Jackson Lee and then Cobra take over H.R. 40. Sheila Jackson Lee, who is a Jamaican immigrant that single-handedly, as she held H.R. 40, locked out all of the lineage-based advocates from around the country that went to her office to try to persist that it become lineage-based. I know because I was one of the advocates that went to her office in D.C. and had conversations with her and her staff. And now we have the foundational Black American movement that is bringing about a renaissance that we have never seen. And here comes Dr. Umar with DAFA. It is a pattern. It is not a coincidence. Pan-Africanism is the psyop they always told you that lineage-based advocacy is. And this DAFA is just the latest iteration. Descendants of African freedmen in America. And again, I will say this. Every revolutionary Pan-African that I know, in the words of Eminem, even though he's not a foundational Black American, in the movie 8 Mile, he not a gangster. His real name is Clarence. And Clarence lives at home with both his parents. And both his parents are in a really good marriage. Every Pan-African I know has a job in America, pays taxes in America, obeys the law in America, and ain't never took their ass to Africa for even a trip. Everything smoking. Family, we will not let this deter us, confuse us, or derail us. We are on a mission, and not even the Prince of Panhandling can get in our way to stop us from hitting our mark. He is going to get run over like everybody else that gets in front of that train. And I mean that respectfully. I'll land there.
Yo, I'm not even going to have closing comments. I want to play that video you made. And that's going to be my closing comment. God, Sister Brooke. Mute it.
Mute it.
Sorry. Yeah, I just want to touch on a couple of things before we get to the emails, a couple of things that I've taken notes on, while we were talking and everything like that. And I want to go back to Booker T, right? When we talked about Booker T, right? Understand that this was around the time when they started mass immigration, right? And Booker T was saying, look, we can have there's nothing wrong with going to higher institutions and becoming doctors and lawyers or whatever, but we need people that's going to do regular shit too. You know what I'm saying? We need everybody because these regular jobs ain't going nowhere, right? And so, and now look at the position that we're in. We got people who have degrees and no job. And what is the number one profession that they saying that they need the most of? Electricians. Now, at that time, there wasn't no electricians, but if there was, electricity being used at that time, that would have been one of the professions that he would have had at his institute. You understand what I'm saying? Because it was construction, it was farming, and then look at the food. We need people right now to be able to feed us without GMO and all these chemicals that turn frogs genders. And, you know, thanks Dr. Tyrone, because a lot of people like to forget who the doctor was who figured that out. It was a foundational Black American named Dr. Tyrone. Okay. So, you know, we forget like that these things are things that we definitely need right now. And so I just wanted to talk about, when you look at the book, The Back of the Hiring Line, it talks about how the Black elite was against these jobs, just like they were against Booker T at the time. Saying, oh, no, we don't want to clean floors no more. We don't want to do housework no more. We don't want to build things no more. We don't want to do that no more. We want to be high sedity, and we want to be, you know what I'm saying, doctors and lawyers and, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Look, two things can be true at the same time. We can have our doctors, lawyers, and all those professional jobs. But at the same time, everybody can't be a doctor. Everybody can't be a lawyer. So we need to have these two things going on at the same time. But the Black elite always think they know better, which is why when I was talking to Devon, I was like, Booker T. Washington, looking at them like, you need how to adult. I've been doing this for years. You understand what I'm saying? And so we have to keep that in mind when we think about Booker T and bring him into present day. Bring the things that he taught, the vocational skills that he taught into present day with our children. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to talk about the fact that the Africans, right? And how they are selling each other. I also would like to bring out, please look up the Nigerians in Italy. They have their women on the stroll. They human trafficking their women on the stroll. Okay. So not only were they selling people then, but they selling people now. And when President Devine went into depth about what they got for what they sold, they was you giving away gold to get bottles of liquor. And these are the same, I want y'all to understand this. Get this through your head. These are the same people that tell us, if y'all get reparations, y'all just gonna spend it on Jordans. If y'all just gonna take it on right over there to Mercedes Benz. Excuse me, I didn't tell you what to spend your cowrie shells on. I didn't tell you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad at us, because you are the king and queens of bad business deals. Now you're coming right looping back around talking about you want $100 million. So remember that when people tell you, oh, y'all ain't gonna do nothing with the money. When we are the ones, when the white tea people left us alone, because that's what the Black Wall Streets are all about. Please understand, look at it from that lens. As Sister Keisha always tells me, you got to look at the total picture. The Black Wall Streets became Black Wall Streets because they were in the middle of nowhere at the time. And white tea folks weren't traveling there very often. But when they finally made it around and saw what we had built on our own, when they left us alone, they said, oh, hell no. How these Negroes got a piano? I ain't even got no piano. And I know my foundational Black Americans know where that movie that line came from. Everybody else may be confused, but my people know where that's from. How they got a piano? Can you even play the piano? No. I can't play the piano, but I want one. The jealousy, because when they leave us alone, history has shown and it has proven, when they leave us alone, we get it done. We don't get, that's why they're always in our business. That's why they are always in our business. So these are I just want to remind people, these are the same people that talking about we begging for reparations too. That's another talking point they like to use. How you gonna beg the white T-man for stuff that you, well, how you gonna beg to get paid twice? You don't have a leg or a toe to stand on for this reparations claim. That's why you're trying to sneak yourself in our DNA. We talked about that last week. Now, when we talked about, I'm gonna bring it right on home. When we were talking about how, you know, when President Devon was talking about how they were, how easy it should have been for them to know who your enemy was and who it wasn't. Well, baby, they don't know who their enemy is today. Look at BAFTA. We said we got to be the ones to tell them, don't let white folks play in your face like that. They sitting online telling us, making all the excuses. Telling them, oh, the boy baby got Tourette's. I don't give a flying fuck what he got. We don't let that shit happen over here. You better figure it out. You better stick a sock or apple, whatever in your mouth. You better figure it out when it comes to us. And then let's not forget, that show was not live. It was on a delay. They let that slide. And keep in mind, I did hear that he said some other comments about other people. We just don't know about it because they ain't let it play.
Palestine, yep, come on.
They ain't let it play. Mm-hmm. I want to remind people that they said he said it 3 times. So they don't know who the enemy is right now. That's why the British girl was sitting there talking about how when she tried to hold them accountable, nobody had her back. Everybody left her hanging because they don't know who the enemy is now. But you want to sit up in our face and tell us we begging. You want to sit up in our face and tell us how we should fight. You want to say, let me tell you something. You can't. And that brings me to my next point about Haiti. Y'all know the Haitian Revolution is one of my favorite things. But you know what's not one of my favorite things? How they treated the revolutionaries. See, when it was over, it was time to work. But nobody wanted to do that work that Dessalines wanted done. And they killed him and dragged his body through the streets. Baby, we ain't gonna let y'all do that to us. We not finna sit up here and fight for everybody, and then y'all turn around and cannibalize us and drag our body through the very streets we built. On the very soul that has expunged with our blood. We ain't gonna let that happen here. So you didn't know who your enemy was then, and you don't know who you don't know who your enemy is now. But we ain't never fooled on who our enemy is. And if you side with them, I don't care what color skin you got either. You with them, you an enemy of us. You letting that slide, you telling us, oh, the person has got whatchamacallit, shut your ass up. You with them. You could get this smoke too. And I also, we talked about, and this is, I'm wrapping it up now. You touched for one quick second on the property taxes. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I do a 6-hour live and try to tell the people of New York, no matter where you're from, that he was a liar and the truth wasn't in him? Didn't I try to tell you? But no, you were fooled because he went to your African parties. And he told you, I'm Ugandan. I'm just like you. I'm an immigrant like you. You were fooled because he went to East Flatbush. On the bush. He went on Flatbush Avenue. Or was it Nostrand? Either way.
Utica.
Or Utica. I don't remember which street it was, but I believe it was Flatbush. He was on Flatbush Avenue. And all of the Caribbean politicians was behind him, loving him, patting him on the back. And as he was sitting there lying in your, playing in your face, telling you how you work hard. Remember that? The Trinidadian aunties and the grandmas and the Hispanic TTs. Remember that? And how hard they work. He sat up there and played in your face. And then he said, oh, to make it better, to get y'all really going, he said, on Labor Day, I'm gonna hop on the truck and jump and wave and jump and wave and jump and wave. Okay? Yeah, wasn't that fun, guys? Oh my God. Yes, he did. Did y'all have a good time with him? Now he's raising your property taxes. He's sitting there talking about he gonna tax. Oh, I won't go into. We'll talk about the rest of that. I'll leave that for next week. I won't go too much into some of the other things. But I'm just gonna say this one last thing, because I see the people in Queens is real mad. And I'm gonna end it by, I said this on, I think it was Knowledge Born, our live show. See, this is how gentrification works. See, we were fooled. I'll say it starts with us. We were fooled because we saw people who look like us and we said, come on in, Caribbeans. Come on in, Africans. You can live amongst us. We're going to treat you like family. And then y'all numbers came up. And then y'all said, now when y'all got your numbers up, y'all like, come on in, immigrants. Come on in, immigrants. You're like us. We don't business with the Black Americans. We business more with you. Because you are immigrant like me. I'm an immigrant like you. You an immigrant like me. We here with it. And now they're removing you from your homes to make room for these illegal Hispanics. Your fellow immigrants. So are you upset? Because when Black Americans were talking about deed theft, when Black Americans was talking about how what they was doing to us with our houses here, which forced a lot of us to move to the South, oh, everybody was quiet. Nobody said shit. Oh, but now it is your turn. See, the white supremacists, no, they couldn't just directly kick us out. We got fooled with Pan-Africanism. Y'all got fooled with immigration. And now everybody's got to go. Open your eyes. Stop letting people blow smoke up your ass. Because you so want to believe that you are better than us, that you listen to them when they lie to you.
and tell you anything so that they can then turn around and use you like a tool and then break you. Because that's what this is right now. You guys are now going through a breaking process. And you're paying for it with your taxes. Yay! Because you pay taxes too. And you know what? The crazy part is y'all don't even want to talk up about it. You don't hear them talking about stop sanctuary city. You hear them complaining about their taxes going up, but nobody's sitting there talking about where the money. We spent $10 billion. And now we are 12 billion in the hole. Why do you think we are 12 billion in the hole? Come on, do the math. You think it's because we need to raise taxes that we're 12 billion in the hole? No, it's because we gave 10 billion to people who don't pay taxes. But nobody's saying anything about that. Because your camaraderie is with their fellow immigrants. And you're going to camaraderie your ass right out your own damn house. Send them emails, people. Okay? As you know what I'm saying? We got our, we gon' delineate. Because we got fooled once, but we ain't gonna get fooled again. And this is how we gonna make sure that whatever we fight for is for us and us alone. Whether it be reparations or whether it be some other type of set aside. We ain't sharing no more. Because then y'all take it and share it with people who call us with the hard ER. And then tell us that we care about racism too much because we call them out on it. So we ain't sharing with you no more. So sorry. So send them emails. The first email is about the unconstitutional and the constitutionally sound bill that we have for reparations. You know, we fighting it tooth and nail. And as we fighting it, we are also putting forth our own bill that is constitutionally sound. So that's the first email. Then the second, third, and fourth email about delineation and disaggregation. Send them emails, send them emails, send them emails. So when you click that link, it's going to take you to a pre-written email. So you don't even have to worry about what to say and how to say it. We already took care of that for you. And you will be sending these emails straight to our legislators. You see, number 2 is going to the Black Legislative Task Force. Number 3 is going to the legislators that signed on for the MENA and the AAPI group. Those 2 groups already delineated from their own. And then the last one is to oh wait, did I do it out of turn? No, yeah. The last one is for Kathy Holcomb, the other crime partner in this situation. Did y'all see that she gave Keisha, did you see that I posted that she's giving $16 million in New Rochelle to a historically Black neighborhood? We ain't fooled by that, Holcomb. Because it's not Black no more. So which means you giving this money, and this is why we're gonna delineate, because that way the next time she ain't gonna be able to say that. You're not gonna give the money to a historically Black. You're gonna have to give it to our delineated group. Period. You don't have to, because it's illegal for her to say Black people. She wants to give it to Black people. So she's giving it to this area that was, before they gentrified it, a historically Black area. So now the money's not even going to us no more because we're not there. Not in mass numbers. So this is why delineation is important. So the next time we can force their hand to make it be just for us, by us. FUBU. Okay? And the last one is so that we could have them bring for these reparations hearings that I got to sit through, so that they could bring our brother Andrew Barnes so he could come in and do a presentation on how immigration as a whole
not just Afro immigrants, but all immigrants of all hues, ethnicities, and genders and religions, how they all have worked together in tandem to push foundational Black Americans to the higher line, and in the process into the prison industrial system, which is the only legal form of slavery left on this land. And on that, I end. I bid you all good night. I thank you so much, Sister Keisha. I always learn so much. Thank you, President Divine. I learned a lot from you as well, President Divine. I'm not gonna lie. Brother Black, you know, I definitely learned a lot from you as well. You know, you be talking about stuff that I have no idea. You be in the clouds, but I like to hear it. I like to hear it because I don't know nothing about it. Sister Marcia, I learned a lot from you.
I also found them 4 doors last week.
You found the doors? Where did you hide them? I told you to give that lady her doors back. Yes, and Brother Tad, always, yo. I love it. Let me just say this real quick about Brother Tad. I love when Brother Tad like be slipping back a little bit. I'm sorry if that's wrong. I love when you get gangster. I know you like to control it, but I don't know. I like to see a little glimmer of it. I'll be like, man, listen. So yes, thank you all for allowing me to be here. I love you all and good night.
Yes, I'm working on that. I'm working on. I ain't kicking nobody's ass in a minute, thank goodness. But yeah, and you know what? I learned a lot from y'all too, man, and I just love it. I love the information. I love the energy. I love the audience that supports this, that this is an organically growing community that is spreading like wildfire now. I appreciate the Caribbeans who are on code. I appreciate the African folks who are on code and say, no, they are different. Yeah, our people do disrespect them. Let's not lie about it. We know it to be true, and we can't move forward if we're not going to be honest about where we at with it right now, So this is definitely another dope show, and check us out every Sunday. OG Wisdom Podcast. Me, my co-host C Gutter, and our sister Keisha spitting that fire. Sister Keisha always come with the receipts wherever she go. I think she got a cash register in her pocket and just ring up receipts. Ching, 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 ching. Here you go. You need a receipt? Here you go. I'm like, where she get that from? Just be on it, but that's what we need. We need to arm ourselves with information as well as take care of our bodies mentally, physically. Shout out to the brother Adonis, over there who's fighting his case. That brother's been putting it down for a long time, and he was one of the first young people I seen standing on business before I really recognized how FBA was a growing space. Our brother Adonis was over there giving people the business, so definitely sending positive energies to him. Our young brother Ant CEO, he be doing this thing. Our brother OG45 TV be putting his foot on people's neck, and all the other people that are doing the work wherever they are, what I'm saying? Sincere to Love God, who was with us the week before last. Because last week I was, traveling. But family, hopefully you were inspired by something you heard here tonight. It's your turn to go out and inspire others. So y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true, and remember, no matter how hard things seem right now, there are always better days ahead. Sister Keisha.
Glad to have the OG back on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
Never forget to check out the OG Wisdom Podcast. Also, you can follow Sister Brooke on all social media platforms, along with Brother Divine, Sister Marcia, and all of their information, Brother Black, is in the description every week. So in case you want to reach out to them, it's there. Don't come to me to ask me no questions, because I'm like Bill Cosby. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. Okay? So y'all can reach out to them directly. Get your summer bodies ready. Brother Tad can hook you up.
Yeah.
He can hook you up, get you right, get you ready. Don't want to miss out. So Thank you all for tuning in, rocking out with us. We definitely appreciate you. Right now, Brother Tad is going viral on TikTok from Knowledge Born Allah show. Tomorrow night, Sister Brooke and myself will be joining Sincere to Love God and Nicety Girl on their platform. And Monday, it will be Brother Devon and Brother Tad on Sincere to Love God program. Like Sister Brooke said, we on a world tour. The mic in our hand. We ain't playing. So, we're going to close out tonight with this clip. Enjoy the rest of the week. Y'all stay up, stay dangerous. At the same time, take no shorts. We out, y'all. Good night.
Movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement. DAFA, descendants of African freedmen in America. Remember, Loom, after freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen who fought to keep this country from being divided. And we have rights as freedmen. So we're fighting as descendants of African, not no American. You ain't never putting that in no title, no organization of mine. Descendants of African freedmen in America.
Okay. Let's slow the good doctor down before he gets way too far ahead of himself. There is no such thing as African freedmen. In fact, the enslaved here in the U.S. were American-born Negroes as early as 1680, and by 1860, only 1% were being imported. So what does that mean for the enslaved here? By 1850, the overwhelming majority of our enslaved ancestors were 3rd, 4th, and 5th generational Black Americans already. In 1910, 99% of the Black American population were native born. And so we were always American freedmen. In fact, you will see here that the first iteration of that comes in the American Freedmen's Inquiry Commission of 1863. Now, I was thinking about all the people I could get to debunk Dr. Johnson's claims, but instead of going all the way around the world, I thought, who better than the American freedman he claims to be a descendant of, to let him know that the native land of the American Negro is America. So that DAFA, you could throw that in the trash. It is DOA. In fact, if you want to find out some good American freedmen work being done, reach out to the U.S. Freedmen Project, because we were freedmen then, we're freedmen still, and there's nothing like a freedman's will.
For God! To counteract the negative.
On the Brooklyn Bridge tonight, voice is strong, knowledge tight, thorough black talk in the air. Changing minds, changing flair. From Brother Tad to Sister K, warriors got things to say. Sister Marcy brings the heat, Brother Blacksmith keeps the beat. Revolutionary waves, they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral light. Thursday nights the world will see Black Power Media on a spree. Facebook, YouTube all aligned, breaking free from every bind. Social talk and politics, every voice breaks through the matrix. Commentary raw and true, for the many, not the few. Revolutionary waves, they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral light. Social talk and politics, every voice breaks through the matrix. Commentary raw and true, for the many, not the few. Revolutionary waves,